Keyshawn Johnson goes up for that one. Looking for Johnson. He's got it! Touchdown! Goes deep, and it's Fenton on the interception. Loud to throw. Goes sideline. Touchdown. Going downfield. Touchdown. Hope you have room for more college football. A beautiful day in St. Petersburg, Florida. A great day for some of the best that college football has to offer in this building. Tropicana Field for the 94th edition of the East-West Shrine Game. A final game for some of college football's best as they take that first step on the path to the draft towards Nashville and the National Football League. And here inside Tropicana Field, along with Alec, one of our patient ambassadors, the Shriners, we have clowns as well. These guys are not clowns. I'm Andrew Siciliano, Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks. Thanks so much for being with us today. Aditi Kinkhabwala joins us shortly as well. DJ, I mentioned the path to the draft. This is a great week, not just because of everyone else here, but it's a week-long job interview for these players to show that they have it for the next level.
Absolutely, Andrew. There are three major events on the spring scouting calendar. You have the All-Star Games, you have the Combine, and then you have the Pro Days. And these All-Star Games are incredibly important because you get a chance to watch these guys with the pads on, compete during the week of practice, and then all the scouts that have been here all week get a chance to visit with these players in the evening, get their background done, and learn what makes these guys tick. This is an incredibly valuable experience for all 32 clubs.
Okay, with that said, you guys have been here on the practice field all week long. They actually practice here at Tropicana Field this week. Who are you keeping an eye on today for the game?
Well, it seems like every year this game gives us a couple quality offensive or defensive linemen, and they come from a variety of places. And I'll give you an example. Sioux Falls, Trey Pipkins has been the best offensive lineman here all week long. He's very athletic. He can slide and redirect. He has got tremendous upside and potential. Think back to this game. Teron Armstead was here and was phenomenal here and has vaulted into a successful pro. And then on the other side of the ball, Dalen Mack, five-star recruit, goes to Texas A&M. Career started off a little bit slow, but he had a monster fall, and he's carried over that momentum this week in practice. Andrew, simply, he's been unblockable. We'll see if he gets blocked today.
Yeah, he's been throwing guys all week long. Can't wait to see Dalen Mack actually in the game with the pads and the lights on. Bucky, how about you today?
It's all about the defensive players for me, and I'm going to start with Sione Takitaki from BYU.
Best name in the game.
Best name in the game. And when you think about the way the league is trending, you have to have guys that can hit, run, and cover on the second level. He has been outstanding during the week of practice, and when you talk to the coaches, they'll tell you he might be the toughest guy in the game. Physical, outstanding presence, like what he brings. And then in the back end, we saw Josh Norman in 2012 light up this game, got picks every day. Jimmy Moreland from JMU is someone to keep your eye on. 18 career interceptions, 6 pick sixes. This is the Colonial Athletic Association Conference Defensive Player of the Year. I am looking forward to watching him get his hands on a couple
There
balls.
are always names that emerge from this week. Example, Philip Lindsay was here last year. Who knew he would be a 1,000-yard rusher? Find out who tomorrow's stars are today. It's the 94th East-West Shrine Game. Next on NFL Network.
I am Bruce.
Half season, and it is great to have a college football game today inside Tropicana Field, the 94th edition of the East-West Shrine Game. Bucky Brooks, Daniel Jeremiah, I'm Andrew Siciliano, and the fourth member of our broadcast crew. Thrilled to have Aditi Kinkhabwala with us today on the sideline. Hi, Aditi.
Hi, Andrew. Well, the coaches today, you know, are all culled from various NFL teams around the league. The two head coaches, they have NFL bloodlines. For the East, it's Sam Mills III, whose father was a longtime beloved linebacker. For the West, Adam Zimmer, whose dad Mike is the head coach of the Vikings. He, of course, had advice for Adam. Adam went his own way in preparing a hype video for his players today to show them all the stars that have come out of this game. When I asked Sam if he prepared a video too, he said, Adam's players need a video. Mine don't.
Well, we have Adam's dad, Mike, sitting at home on the ranch with an East-West Shrine game viewing party today. Mike, here's what Adam's pregame speech looked like.
All right, guys, time to go to work, all right? This is the start of your future, okay? This is the start of you becoming a pro, okay? Go out there, play like a pro, play fast, play physical, play for one another.
Getting his team fired up here, getting a chance to coach. Both of the coaches, both Adam Zimmer and Sam Mills III, told us yesterday they're worried about the clock management, DJ. Like they've never done this before. They're excited. They're ready for these players to take the stage, but it's the 2-minute drill stuff, the timeout stuff. That's the stuff that's different.
One thing you can see, though, the intensity carried over all week long with practice from Coach Zimmer to his team. I'm looking forward to watching them compete as long as we're going to have a fun game today. Coach Mills had their group going. It's going to be fun.
It will be a lot of fun. Matthew Gay might be the best player here, by the way. He's the Utah kicker who kicks it off halfway deep in the end zone. And Darren Hall from Pitt is going to run it out to the 20-yard line, and that is where we are going to start. The West gets the ball first. East won the toss and deferred. And our quarterback today, DJ, to start it off is Mark Rypien's nephew. But let's just get that out of the way now. Brett Rypien was a very good college quarterback at Boise State.
Yeah, he's a 3-time captain there at Boise State and has probably been the most consistent quarterback during this week of practices. He's got plenty of arm strength. He throws with anticipation. He's one I'm looking forward to watching compete today.
We're going to open up on the 19-yard line. Nick Brissett, the LSU running back, one-year starter, and a very impressive year at that, is the lone running back in the backfield. Rypien's going to throw on first down, and he hits a guy that you like a lot, DJ, Kendall Blanton, the tight end from Missouri, with the catch.
Yeah, Kendall Blanton hasn't put it all together yet, but he's 6'6", 265 pounds. He's got long arms, and he's a real smooth athlete. So you see the production on the screen there. That doesn't blow you away, but he's one of those potential guys.
North Carolina's Cole Holcomb, linebacker, former DB, and walk-on, gets the tackle. Good for 9 on first down to open it up. College football's best seniors, another chance to shine, including Nick Brissett, who has a huge hole up the middle, and his first carry is for a first down out to the 39-yard line. He had an ACL as a freshman. He was behind a lot of talent there, but he finally got his shot this year.
Look at this gap right there. That is a big-time hole for him to roll through. Nice job up front. You see the Texas A&M helmet.
Yep, and a little tempo here as Rypien fakes the pitch, rolls out to his right, and fires wide for Arizona's Sean Poindexter.
That's one thing with Rypien when you watch him. I want to see how he does on the move, and that's what's great about these all-star games. We know he can sit back there in the pocket and kind of throw the ball over the yard. I want to see him on the move. That's one of the question marks with his game.
Coaches said they really liked his leadership this week in meetings and on the field. He was a captain after a week of practices out here today. Coaches said he can line guys up well. He's the alpha. That's why he's starting today. Earned it. Opening drive here, no score first quarter. East-West Shrine game. There's some good gas on that one. Rypien with the throw over the middle and good for a first down to Utah State's Ronquavian Tarver.
See him drop back in the pocket here. Nice poise and timing. One hitch, ball comes out, perfect placement. Watch a little dig route, come flat across the middle of the field. It's a beautiful route.
Caught in front of Tim Harris, the UVA corner there to make the tackle. Tim Harris, a 6th-year senior in Charlottesville. Bronco Mendes. Cross midfield now, 45-yard line. Opening drive going well so far. And again, he rips it. And again, it's Tarver, nearly the same play. Across the 30 to the 29 this time. And Trey Watson from Maryland is there.
Right off the hip of Cole Holcomb, the linebacker from North Carolina. He's lined up right in here. He's going to clear right behind him, and that ball goes right by his ear. Perfect placement from Rypien. Watch the full extension here. You want to see a hands catcher frame the ball perfectly. Tuck it away.
Rypien early, 3 for 4 for 40 1 yard. 6th play of the drive coming up here from the 29. Sunday, love it. We're Saturday. Brissett nowhere to run there, dropped in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 2 with Michael Dogby from Temple there.
Michael Dogby's had a good week. His only issue is playing a little bit high at times. He's got outstanding quickness. He moved around in that Temple front, but you can see that quickness has been disruptive in practices, and we're seeing it carry over here to the game so far.
He's a 5th-year senior, most games in school history. 54.
Keep an eye on the back here from Texas. Has kind of been a jack of all trades this week.
2-time captain for the Longhorns. Slot to the left there on 2nd and 11. Rippon has time, and he hits Poindexter. Going to be short of a first down. Maybe a gain of 7. Ulysses Gilbert III with the tackle from Akron.
He might be the best cover linebacker in this game.
He's got a great name, too.
It's a Hall of Fame name, but to me, when you're scouting right now, you got to find linebackers that can run, cover, and blitz. And that's something, when you watch him on tape, that's something he does quite well. Watched him against South Carolina, he was flying all over the field.
Adam Zimmer watching his team, see if he can get points on the board here in the opening drive.
He's got one-on-one up here at the top.
That's Tarver up there. Rippon's had all kinds of time. Brissett out of the backfield for the touchdown. Nick Brissett from LSU, the wheel. And the West is on the board early.
Giving him a chance to show off a little bit. Let's see Brissett coming out of the backfield. Going to get him on a little wheel route and then just track the ball naturally over your shoulder like a wide receiver. He's on Gilbert. I talked about his cover skills, and he got beat the next play.
Brissett did everything this week in practice. The West was banged up a little bit with injuries at wide receiver. They lined him up in the slot this week. He volunteered. He said he wanted to play all over the place. And here, he scores the game's first touchdown with John Barron now out for the extra point from San Diego State. And it's good. We've got offense early at the East-West Shrine game. Yeah, Adam Zimmer. An 8-play drive to open it up 7-0 early for the West.
This isn't that hard.
Yeah.
I am on it.
Touchdown to Nick Brissett. Both of the coaches here told us yesterday we're going to have offense. Bucky Brooks, we got offense early.
We do have offense early, and what you love is when you see things on the practice field carry over to games. You're talking a mesh concept that resulted in a touchdown to Brissett. I love the way they repped it. More importantly, I love the way they executed it in the game.
Nick Brissett from LSU, behind so many of those good backs, finally got a shot. Seems like LSU has backs on top of backs on top of backs. Nick Brissett is the next guy up, and he's making most of his opportunity early. So after scores, no kickoffs. They're going to put the ball on the 25-yard line, save some time, make it a little bit safer. David Blau is the starting quarterback today for the East. 3,700 yards and 25 touchdowns this past season, DJ, for Purdue.
They look a little undersized Purdue quarterback. I think we've seen that work out well in the past if you want to watch football tomorrow, but very accurate. Very poised. Had a big game against Ohio State and a big upset.
He's got Maryland's Ty Johnson wearing 24 with that distinctive helmet in the backfield. Play fake to him, and Blau's going to roll out and throw complete. His first pass right out of the gates complete to Michigan State's Matthew Sokol. 31 career receptions and a couple of touchdowns. The tackle by Andrew Wingard out of Wyoming.
I think they wanted to go deep right there to Terry Godwin. It was a bootleg. He was on a vertical outside, but he was covered up. A nice job of being patient by Blau to take what the defense gave him.
Sam Mills and his offensive coordinator, Andrew Janocko, had said they wanted to take a shot early. That might have been it. Wasn't there. Godwin, top of the screen there, the Georgia wide receiver. And Jamal Custis from Syracuse is on the bottom. Ty Johnson out of Maryland with the carry. A couple of yards over the left side. And he keeps those legs moving. Gets good yardage before Wingard runs him out of bounds. And that's a first down.
Nick Allegretti from Illinois, he made that whole thing go inside. You're going to see 67. Keep an eye on him right here. He's going to work up here and get a little pancake block, and he follows him right through that hole. Look at him drive and finish. Boom.
Great block by Allegretti there. A center and a guard. He even played a couple games of defensive tackle early in his career at Illinois. Lost Johnson there on the pile. Thought he might have been stood up. He bounced out and got it across midfield to the 46. And Johnson again has big room over the left side. And again, he breaks it loose across the 40. And again, it's Wingard who's got to get him on the far sideline.
That's patience right there. That's what you want to see from Ty Johnson. Watch his patience to let this develop. He's going side to side, and then eventually you're going to see him right here. Put your foot in the ground. Read that block. Again, look at 67 making the key block on that play. Nice work again by Allegretti. He's having a good start to this game.
Only Stephon Diggs and Lamont Jordan have more career total yardage as Maryland Terrapins and Ty Johnson. Darnell Woolfolk also in the game now. Blau trouble with that one. And he gets plastered. Bad snap. Blau picked it up after a couple of bounces, and he is going to get dropped, destroyed by Daniel Wise, among others, out of Kansas. You also had 46 Landis Durham there from A&M.
Yeah, when you're a tackle, you're imagining where the pocket is, and once that ball's dropped, the pocket changes, and there's no resistance there for the easy play for Durham.
Loss of 9 on that one, back to the 45. 7-0 early, West over the East. First possession here for the East. They're going to set up the screen for Johnson. Patiently waits for his blockers. And gets the sack yardage back to the 35. Didi Kinkhabwala down to the sideline.
This has turned into a little Nick Allegretti highlight tape.
It
got
has.
out in space right there, and the coaches really liked him. 36 starts. He's played guard. He's played center. I thought he had some balance issues during the week of practice, but man, has he cleaned that up today.
Trouble connecting with the Didi there. We'll get back with her coming up in a little bit there.
This is Hardage right there from Northwestern. He's been probably the best defensive player all week long. Keep an eye on him.
Humphrey Hardage wearing 31 there in the slot, working on the inside on 3rd and 9. Blau out of one sack, pump fake. He's going to run. David Blau close to a first down. Wingard over there to pop him. Drew Lewis as well. I think he's about a yard short at the 27.
Showed you some of those instincts right there. Use the pump fake once you get outside the pocket. He's got to hold Wingard. Is able to escape here with a clean run through by Marcus Jones from Angelo State. And now that pump fake buys him just enough time. I'll tell you what though, Drew Lewis, he can roll. Gets close to the first down and just a little bit short.
And they are going to go for, why not Sam Mills? It's 4th down. Jordan Ellis out of Virginia in the backfield. They need the 26. A play fake to Ellis. Blau under pressure again. Blau gets it away. And it's incomplete. It's a turnover on down. Marcus Jones from Angelo State's living in the backfield.
He's unblocked. Unblocked on that one. Jordan Ellis from Virginia looks like he just missed.
Turnover on downs. 7-0 early. West on top of the East, halfway through the first quarter at the 94th East-West Shrine game. Down to the sideline, Didi Kinkhabwala has a special guest.
Well, I am here, Andrew, with Harold Richardson, who has been running this game for 8 years, and I understand this is the biggest thus far.
Well, it is the best one we've had. It's the best player group that we've had. I think it's the best group of coaches. The crowd is very enthusiastic. We had a good crowd, so I'm very pleased with it.
14 GMs here this week to see these players. When you talk about growing this game, which the NFL's Troy Vincent told us is the goal, what are the next steps to be taken?
The next step is to get with the league, and the league has been very helpful with us, and just see how we can work together to make it better for the league and make it better for us. That's the goal between us, is to have the league benefit from it and the Shriners Hospitals benefit at the same time.
Harold, you spent so many years with the Falcons, with the NFL players. When you watch these young men out here, what's the thing that strikes you the most?
First of all, they're getting bigger and faster and stronger. I mean, seriously, they are. It's interesting to me because when I pick players for this game, it's not like when I was the GM and I was trying to pick a team. I'm just trying to pick players that I know teams want to watch. And it's hard sometimes to split those two. I want to say, oh, I want that guy, and just want the players that the league wants to see.
Well, let's go back to watching them right now. Thank you for your time.
Harold, thanks for a great week. It's always a class event. We've enjoyed our time here in St. Petersburg, and Harold does have a great group. Nick Brissett certainly among that group, had the early touchdown of there, a gain of 9 as well. That is a first down on the 37. Darren Hall from Pitt into the game. Brett Rippon still our quarterback, threw that touchdown early to Brissett. And he throws it to the outside to Andrew Beck, the two-time captain from Texas, a fullback, an H-back, a tight end. This game does have some different rules, DJ. The formations must be balanced, no motion, limited in the defenses you can play, and that one on the bottom there, you
see
can't
about that. We'll
blitz, at least not maybe until the end of the game.
Look,
Well,
I don't know if Coach Zimmer at home is going to allow his son back for the holidays if he doesn't break that final rule.
The coaches like to bend the rules a little bit. Yes, a flag can be thrown. It's 2nd and 4 here. Darren Hall with the carry, cutting the backfield there, and he has the leg drive to get those 4 yards for a first down. I said they might bend the rules a little bit later if the game is on the line, see if they can get away with it.
Sometimes you just read it wrong. You think it's a run, and you have to go get the quarterback on the way there. You see kind of a gliding style that we've seen from Hall, but how about the power? Showed you the strength to be able to finish with Kyle Lawrence Phillips, 272 pounds on his back from Tennessee. Just carries him for the first down.
And now Hall takes a seat. Nick Brissett comes back into the game. We had that touchdown, 4 carries, and 20 yards. An early 7-0 game. Our first college all-star game of the year. Brissett again. He's been patient. Not patient there. He's going to get drilled in the backfield by Sione Taki.
What a start here for Brett Rippon. Showing you can make a variety of throws, check the ball down, take what the defense gives you. A nice firm ball, a couple balls over the middle, and then the touch on the wheel route. Can't drop it in the bucket any prettier than that one. He's been really the best quarterback during the week, and that's carried over into the game.
No, you're grinding tape on him this morning.
I watched him against Wyoming. He made a seam throw for a touchdown. That game was big time.
90 career touchdowns. His Boise State career for Brett Rippon, 91 if you want to count today. Technically, it does not count. Incomplete there, 3rd and 11 coming up.
This one got away from him. It looked like he tried to put a hole in his chest and overthrew this one. A little misread on kind of an option route there to Bland, the big tight end from Missouri, not on the same page. That's one of the challenges for quarterbacks in all-star games, is getting on the same page as your receivers.
Although he did show the great touch earlier on the touchdown to Brissett. They're a little too much gas. They need the 42 for the first down. Ow! Jordan Brailford with the sack from Oklahoma State.
Just get off. That is what he does. It's that pure get off, that explosiveness, working here against the big tackle from San Diego State, and puts him in the spin cycle. No chance whatsoever for Ryan Pope. Doesn't get his hands on him and finishes once he gets home.
Jordan Brailford forces the punt. First team all Big 12, led the Cowboys with 9 sacks and 16 tackles for a loss, and it brings out Jack Fox out of Rice for the punt. Jimmy Moreland back there from Little James Madison in Harrisonburg, Virginia. No punt returns. However, if you muff it, you can fall on the football. They're going to start inside the 5. Jordan Brailford with the big hit to force the punt.
John Tyson.
A couple of pretty big games tomorrow. Championship Sunday opens up with Good Morning Football Weekend. Steve Smith is going to tell you who the best receiver is playing tomorrow, plus live reports from both Kansas City and New Orleans. It is Good Morning Football Weekend, Sunday, 7 a.m. Eastern on NFL Network. Everyone here on your screen is playing tomorrow in Kansas City, and all of them played in the East-West Shrine game. When we say that tomorrow's stars are on this field, we mean it. Now, they may not look like stars here, but DJ, this week, this game is such a huge step in that direction. Dietrich Wise plays tomorrow. He played in this game. Daniel Wise, his younger brother, is here today.
His younger brother had a great week of practice, was dominant. He's got a chance to make a play as the ball's inside the 5-yard line right here.
With Jordan Ellis, the Virginia running back, behind David Blau. Ball spotted on the 4. And it's Ellis wearing that number 1 out of Charlottesville, DJ, who falls forward for about a yard.
Yeah, I got a chance to visit with his head coach, Bronco Mendenhall, this week, and told me they do a really cool deal where every year the players vote their roster 1 through 100, and whoever the toughest, the best leader, that's #1 on the list. He's been #1 3 years in a row, and what that does is it gives you an opportunity to pick whatever number you want. You have to earn your number each and every year at Virginia. He's had the first pick 3 years in a row.
Led the team with 10 touchdowns this year for the Hoos, 20 career rushing touchdowns. Got a yard on that one. It's going to be 2nd and 9. Darnell Woolfolk in the backfield as well from Army. Blau sets in the end zone and swings it to the left. Ellison catches, or Ellis, I beg your pardon, catches behind it. And Powers through Hollins for a first down to Aditi.
Guys, you were just talking about Daniel Wise. I talked to him before the game. He said his older brother Dietrich, who's playing tomorrow, said just do your thing. Wise is, of course, the middle of 3 football-playing Wise brothers. Now, he did get in a little dust-up this week at practice with one of his own offensive linemen. He said that's not a problem, though. Don't guys like a little fight in their dogs? He said, I'm that dog.
He got into it with Nick Linder, the Indiana center, yesterday. They were separated. Didn't last very long, but Daniel Wise, a bit of a temper to him. He's showing that on the field here today, as well as Ellis is in the backfield on 3rd and short. And he's going to get 2 yards. First down. They've moved it out from the 4 to the 16.
One guy we haven't seen get going yet, a little bit surprised, is Terry Godwin, who has been uncoverable from Georgia, #4, the wide receiver, all week long. Was a highly regarded recruit, but crowded group, a lot of mouths to feed there at Georgia, so the production hasn't really matched the talent, but he's had a phenomenal week of practice. You see him coming down here. I'm surprised they haven't taken a deep shot.
Also, a baseball player drafted by the Braves, overshadowed by Wims and Mitchell and Ridley, but getting his shot here today. Ellis, a couple stutter steps in the backfield, and Ellis does not go down easily, gets to the 22. Hollins is there. Sorry, TJ. Marcus Jones as well.
Nice job of pulling there by Tyler Jones from NC State, #53. 45 starts for him. And at games like this, from a scout's perspective, you want guys that are versatile. You're talking a lot of mid to late round picks. Can you play multiple spots? He's played both tackle spots and left guard. That's a big asset.
And that's really big for these offensive linemen. You see so many offensive linemen in these all-star games, Daniel, that start at tackle because maybe they're the best athlete on their team. They have to move inside once they get here. As Blau takes a deep drop and fires it complete. Daniel Helm, you can get up. These are NFL rules, and the Duke tight end finally realizes that, and he gets to the 43 for the first down.
Nice job of working there. You see Helm, he's at the bottom, and work in the middle of the field. You got to get off the line of scrimmage. He does, and that's just open space. These soft zone coverages. You're right, though, Andrew. He went down and had to think about it for a minute.
Think about it.
Wait a second. Nobody. Still alive.
Wait,
still
I
alive.
can do this.
Yep, there you go.
And the coaches actually mentioned to us yesterday that was one of the things, NFL rules this week, that they had to hammer home. It's difficult in practice when you're not actually tackling, but they were going to remind their team today that you are allowed to go when no one touches you. Toss there to Jordan Ellis near midfield as time winds down in the first quarter. Maisie Wilkins here from USF with the tackle. That's going to do it. Got a touchdown on the board early. Nick Brissett from Brett Rippon. The West on top of the East. 7-0, one final college football game for some of the nation's best seniors. Back with more second quarter action after this.
I am brave.
On NFL Network, the West on top of the East, 7-0 at the 94th edition of the East-West Shrine game here at Tropicana Field. Bucky Brooks, Aditi Kinkhabwala, Daniel Jeremiah. I'm Andrew Siciliano, and this is our favorite part of the week. The patient ambassadors are here. This is Alec Kabakungan, who is here with us, actually, last year. Alec, this is truly a tradition. We love to have you up here in the booth. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Patient of the Shriners Hospital in Chicago. Alec is 16 years old. He's battling brittle bone disease. He's quite an athlete. He has a future as a sportscaster.
He has a now as a sportscaster.
Well,
it's not
as
a future,
now.
it's
You
right
have
now.
your own YouTube channel, Alec.
Yes, sir. It's Smart Alec on Sports.
And you do that out of the house, like out of your own bedroom.
Yeah, out of my own house.
What do you think of today's game?
Today's game is going to be a fun one. I've talked to the players all week. Nice group of guys.
Jordan Ta'amu is in the game, and the Texas A&M quarterback overthrows Jamal Custis out of Syracuse here to open up his first play.
If we would have had a Syracuse touchdown right there,
I might have lost
the guy next to you might have just jumped right out of the entire booth. He'd have been so excited.
Well, I mean, Alex, you're used to calling games. You helped us call the game a little bit last year. You have your YouTube channel. You have been on Inside the NBA on TNT as well. Like, what is your dream sportscasting job?
My dream is to have like a talk show maybe and just talk sports with former players and just talk sports, what's going on in the now, and that'd be my dream.
You want to do play-by-play?
Play-by-play would be cool, yeah.
You want to do play-by-play?
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Right now we're in shotgun.
There you go. You got Te'amu, quarterback.
Te'amu looking left, find someone. Ooh, down the sideline.
Terry Godwin with flags on the play. You got it. Well done.
Thank you.
Doesn't get any better than that. What's Andrew doing here?
Yeah,
what do you think, Alex?
I'll go home.
Get something to eat.
You want to come to Mobile, too?
That would be cool.
Our referee today is Jeff Heiser. He's an ACC.
Holding. Offense. Number 84. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
So Jesper Horsted from Princeton. First time we have called his name. Unfortunately, it is for offensive pass interference. For those who don't know, Alec is quite a basketball player as well. As a matter of fact, in the Shriners Hospital in Chicago, they named the basketball court after you.
Yes, they did. It was super important to me. I took my first steps on that court.
That's awesome.
I saw you down on the field before. I said, how is your double game going? And you said...
I said quadruple double.
I sold it short.
Quadruple double game. And we were talking here during the commercial as well. You could be an NFL draft analyst, you know, in your free time when you're not doing the talk show. Your favorite player as we look at third down here in the NFL draft is?
Kyler Murray. I'm excited to see what happens and all the headlines going around him.
Te'amu actually showing some good escape ability there, much like a Kyler Murray, but he throws it away. It's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun draft, and I think that's the name that a lot of people agree with you. With Kyler Murray, everybody's just dying to see where he's going to go, what's he going to do. He says baseball is a thing in the past, but maybe he changes his mind, goes back to baseball. But man, he's fun to watch, isn't he?
Only Kyler knows what he's going to do, and we're all just waiting here, watching, and we're waiting for his decision.
Waiting for his decision. He declared for the NFL draft earlier this week. And baseball is still an option. A.J. Cole in the punt. And again, no returns on these punts. Sean Poindexter is going to let it bounce. Alec Kamakugan, it is great to see you again, sir.
Thank you so
Best
much
of
for
luck
having
with
me.
everything. And DJ says he's coming on the show next week, by the way, okay? We'll both do it.
Awesome. That'd be super cool. Thank you so much.
Alex, have a great weekend. There's Alex down to the field before 7-0 in the second. Scribe, telling you earlier, this is not only about player development. This week is also about coach development. That is Adam Zimmer, turned 35 last week, the Vikings linebackers coach. He's also been with the Saints, has a Super Bowl ring, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Vikings. And on the other side, we have Sam Mills, who put together a staff as well for the East. And so many of these coaches here are getting a chance, as we see Sam Mills, the third on the sideline, to get their own room, to find their own voice. A couple of years ago, Kevin Stefanski was an assistant quarterback coach with the Vikings. He called plays here as an offensive coordinator. He almost got the Browns head coaching job, not 23 months later, just a couple of weeks ago. So this is a developmental game for so many on so many sides. As we are back to football here, and the West has a new quarterback. It is Marcus McMaryion from Fresno State. DJ 21-4 as a starter.
He can really move around. I would not be surprised if we see some zone reads sprinkled in and try and get him on the move and show off his athleticism, because that's what makes him a special player there for a Fresno State program under Jeff Tedford. Wow, they really got it going.
He transferred out of Oregon, had a couple of big wins there, and decided to get out and move on. Big part at Oregon State as McMaryion throws and hits John Duhart in the hands, and he cannot hang on.
Little RPO. You just talked about some zone read. That was a little RPO. Ends up pulling the ball, and just a perfect slant, nice pace, right where it needs to be. It's a clean route. You just got to catch the ball right on his face. That's exactly where you want that football to be thrown. And the coaches this week, they thought Duhart was the best slot receiver they had. Did a nice job getting open, just got to finish.
Derek Beatty wearing 6 from Kentucky with the coverage there on the Old Dominion receiver.
Let's get Colorado School of the Mines going here.
Number 80, Brody Oliver, 59 career touchdown receptions, is going to go in motion there on
That's
third
no
and 5.
motion. That's illegal. You got to
go in motion.
He lined up wrong.
They got a timeout called by Adam Zimmer for the West. You can't go in motion. Rather than taking the penalty, let's burn the timeout. I'm here at Tropicana Field, the West on top of the East, 7-0 here. A touchdown by Nick Brissett from Brett Rippon, as we see Jordan Brailford with a big sack. Sam Mills, the third, coaching on one side. Adam Zimmer coaching on the other. And we just had an instance where, again, different set of rules here. 3rd and 5. We had Brody Oliver, who's lined up slot to the right here. Went in motion. You can't go in motion. They burned a timeout. The handoff here on 3rd and 5. And Darren Hall has some running room. He needed 5. He got 9 for the first down for the Pitt running back. The tackle by Michael Dogby out of Temple.
Look at this matchup right here. Nice job of holding the point right there by Brailford. Just couldn't get off the block. A nice job of holding up on the offensive line there by Arkansas's Brian Wallace, creating that lane.
Wallace playing at his natural position. He was a 3-year starter at right tackle. You don't see that often, as I mentioned earlier, with offensive linemen in these kind of games. You have to move people around, cross-train them, as they say, find out where they fit. Wallace, though, a natural right tackle. 34-yard line for a first down. Again, our quarterback. Our second one today is Marcus McMarron, Fresno State, schooled by Jeff Tedford. Looking down the sideline. Knocked away, wanted to run Quavian Tarver, and that's a nice play by North Alabama's Chris Johnson.
You see some range here, single high safety. He drops back to pass here. It was a quick win inside by Virginia Tech's Ricky Walker. Nice job of hanging in there by McMarron, but then it was the range, inside out range. A free safety coming all the way over from the middle of the field. It was a nice job there by Chris Johnson from Northern Alabama.
Bucky, was that a back shoulder throw or just a throw that was short?
I think it was a deliberate back shoulder throw, but DJ talks about the range. When your safeties can get from the middle of the field to the bottom of the numbers, that is very impressive. That was a good play by Johnson.
Screen to Tarver and blockers, and Tarver's across midfield with the first down. Maryland's Trey Watson with the tackle.
Nice job of running after the catch. This is something we see in the college game all the time, and now you watch on Sundays, you're seeing it more and more. These tunnel screens, bubble screens, just get the ball out to these wide receivers, let them run after the catch. They're so used to it from doing it in college. The NFL's become pretty hip to the idea as well.
Tarver played at Utah State, but from Belgrade, Florida. Not that close to home, but close enough. 18 career touchdowns in college. Sean Poindexter, Arizona wide receiver, top of your screen. He's an interesting guy. Former volleyball player, red zone threat. Here he's though at midfield. McMarron, the play fake, under pressure from Brailford, and then it's just going to throw it away. And sometimes, DJ, that's the right thing. You don't want to force it. You want to show that as a quarterback you can be a good decision maker.
Yeah, look, don't try and be a hero out here. Sometimes in these all-star game settings, you see guys really try and force the action and make something happen. You're going to see the win there by Brailford, who's having one heck of a game. See him come inside, almost like a little up and under move, and then just get out of there by McMarron and throw the ball away. There's nowhere to go. He could have tried to jam the ball into the tight end, his big tight end, and Kendall Bland, but he was smart. Just get rid of it.
Brailford had a sack earlier in the first quarter. Played left defensive end for the Cowboys, right defensive end. This year actually took a swipe at all 3 linebacker positions. His first one. Second down, McMarron here in traffic. Nice catch in traffic by the Texas tight end, Andrew Beck.
Yeah, Andrew Beck, look, he's not as big as Rhett Ellison when he was coming out of USC, but I like the fact that he's a jack of all trades and can save you a roster spot with his ability to play fullback. He can play H, and he's tough enough to put his hand in the ground and try and fight you and block you in the run game. See him just keep him on your back, extend, attack the football.
Coach has told us yesterday he's a guy that could play, as Brailford got to the quarterback again, could be a 10-year guy. Doesn't mean he's going to be an all-pro, but a guy that, as you said, DJ, is versatile. Special teams, H-back, tight end, he's got to find the right spot. McMarron goes through his progressions and comes back to Brody Oliver for the first down.
That was a great job by Brody Oliver. Actually helps out and chips here before he gets out. You're going to see him chip down in protection, help your tackle out who's been struggling, and then separate, pluck the ball in the middle of the field. Nice job.
Quarterback with some patience, too, waiting for that to develop.
You know,
McMarion has his team on the move. Sorry, Buck.
No, you know, DJ, think about this receiver, Oliver. 59 career touchdowns. That's ridiculous production for anybody. When we're looking at small school guys, they need to dominate their level. But I thought he did a solid job this week of holding his own against these better competition.
Oliver was a lefty quarterback. And nice pull as Hall gets a couple of yards over the left side. Again, Brody Oliver, Bucky didn't get that stat wrong. 59 career touchdowns in the Colorado School of Mines. Their mascot, anybody?
I've been there on a scouting trip. Buck, have you been there?
I've never been to college.
I've been there, but I don't remember the mascot.
What is that?
Q Kanye. He's an ore digger, guys.
Very nice. Very nice.
Does it still go by? He doesn't go by Kanye.
Now he goes by that.
Does he dig on you or no?
I'm not right. 2nd and 8 from the 37. Opening drive here for McMarion. Pitches to Hall, and again, it's
guess who?
Wow. I mean, he is all over the field.
Right side, left side, play the run, rush the quarterback.
Was he this good in practice, Bucky?
No, I think the big thing, like Sam Mills and those guys talked about, they wanted to unleash their guys on game day. We're seeing them play at a different pace. That D-line has certainly been getting after it, and he has been the biggest star of them all. There you see playing off the block, following it to make the play. The effort plays are what keeps you around in the National Football League. He is going to have a chance because he's a try-hard guy.
Woods did a nice job in the secondary there, setting the edge as well.
On 3rd down, Nebraska's Divino Zigbo is in there. They're going to set up the screen, and it's not going to go anywhere because it almost got picked off. Again, it's Ulysses Gilbert. You praised his coverage skills. He got beaten for a touchdown. He almost had a touchdown the other way there.
He gave up one. He almost picked one up. You're going to see the instincts here. Watch him sniff this screen out. He sees the back here, just kind of hanging, reads it right away, drive on it, undercut it. Oh!
Almost had it. He scored 3 touchdowns, Gilbert has, the last 2 years. Defensively, he has a nose for the end zone.
And look, I jinxed him the last time. I bragged on his cover skills. He gets beat for a touchdown, and there you got a chance to see what I saw when I watched the tape.
Jack Fox from Rice is on punt, and remember, you cannot return.
Great job.
Great job downing it, though. Nice Brown. How about that? Down inside the 5. The Troy corner got down there. For Adam Zimmer's team, 7-0.
I am brave.
These players, what was the best part of the week? They didn't say NFL coaching. They didn't say the GMs. They said it was their visit to the Shriners Hospital for Children here in Tampa. It is such a huge part. It is the meaning behind the 94th East-West Shrine game. Visiting these kids in the hospital, giving back to the community. It's such a great week. It's such a great event. As we have the kids here as well at Tropicana Field. The Didi Kinkhabwala down on the field.
Andrew, we are here with Lily and Riley, 2 members of the Shriners family. Now, Lily sang the national anthem for us today. This is her first experience here at an East-West game. Can you tell me a little bit about what the week's been?
Yeah, it's been great. Riley and I have been able to go out and do a lot of media interviews, just promote our hospital and the game and the good work that the game supports and that the hospitals do. We've gotten to meet some of the players at their practices, and they're really just great, down-to-earth guys, really interested in Shriners Hospitals and really excited to be here, not just for their NFL careers, hopefully, but to support the hospitals as well.
Well, Riley, you've gotten to be a part of this game and these players visiting the hospital for years now. What does it mean when you're a patient in the hospital to have these players come see you?
Yeah, for sure. Most of these kids, these players are their heroes. And we've been talking to the players, and they feel the same way that these kids are their heroes. So it goes both ways, but it benefits the player or the kids in so many ways, and it gives them confidence to go achieve their dreams. So.
Lily, your first surgery was when you were an infant. What is the one big misconception that people have about what Riley and you have battled?
Mostly, I think that a lot of people expect kids who have gone through so much medical care, medical issues, that we would be maybe a little bit withdrawn or not willing or able to do things. But I mean, at Shriners, we never say I can't. So they've really encouraged us to and enabled us to do anything we ever wanted to do. And I mean, I think Riley would probably agree. We're able to do just as much as any other kid our age. So.
And Riley, why are all the Shriners kids family?
I think we're all one big family because we all are similar to each other in the sense that we all have disabilities and we all go to the same hospital and have the same doctors and same nurses and the same medical staff. So that brings us all together, and I think that's why we're really family.
And do we have any rooting interest today?
Well, I'm a University of Kentucky student, so we've got 2 UK guys on the East team, so I have to root for them. But
and does the blue mean anything?
No, Florida Gator fan, so I'm with the East.
All right, then, don't tell Adam Zimmer. Andrew.
All right, Lily, Riley, Aditi, thank you. One of those UK guys, Munchie Stallings, in there at right guard. Marquise Young, a running back at a UMass, into the game as well. And by the way, if we're asking for favorites, the West has won, DJ, 3 in a row and 5 out of 7. If you're looking at the trends here.
Vernon Adams offered the greatest All-Star game performance in history at the East-West Shrine. Yeah.
Vernon Adams was absolutely amazing. Oregon quarterback. A 3rd and 5 here. Jordan Teamu, the Ole Miss quarterback, is in it. And Teamu in his end zone. Good touch. Wants Godwin, who catches it. Looks like he was held, but then he lost it when he hit the turf. Tyreek Cannell from Michigan comes up with it. And Cannell's still moving inside the 5.
That was good on good. That was the best wide receiver here, Terry Godwin, working on the best corner here in Montre Hardage. You can see this matchup right here. Hardage sneaks inside to the nickel at times. You can see a corner route. He's right there. Godwin makes a great catch, but he doesn't give up and rips the ball out and leads to a turnover. That was good all the way around. Great route, great catch, but you got to finish, and Godwin doesn't. Hardage does. Just rip it out.
How about that? The Big Ten working together. There is no replay. So if you're trying to figure out whether or not Godwin was down or that ball came out, it doesn't matter. It was ruled a fumble recovery by Cannell, and that is what it is going to be, and he brings it back to the 2-yard line, and now the West has the football in the red zone with a chance to go up 2 scores. Divine Ozigbo from Nebraska is alone in the backfield. And Ozigbo is going to get the carry and walk right into the end zone.
Nice job by McMarion, showing you a little bit of polish there. He ends up signaling a route out to the receivers to the right side. It's just a dummy signal. End up running the ball right inside, and Ozigbo has a huge alley to roll through. Look at that. That's just, you can drive a truck through there.
Wow.
That's just too easy.
Behind Leonard Bonnard. 72, the left guard. And after the turnover there, the West is up 13-0, and John Barron now gets a shot at another extra point. 135 out of 137 in his career. And the lefty is 2 for 2 today to make it 14-0. So our first turnover turns into points. Godwin made a great effort to adjust and bring that football in, but he could not hang on. 14-0. Ozigbo with the touchdown.
There are
and gals, a 6-hour championship Sunday edition of NFL Game Day Morning. Future Hall of Famer Adrian Peterson is in studio. Jalen Smith of the Cowboys, Brandon Marshall, the one that catches passes, in there as well. Plus Kurt Warner, film session with Drew Brees. Game Day Morning, 9 Eastern on Sunday on NFL Network. And then the first game is the NFC Championship game. Saffold, Zerline, Armstead, Carr, not pictured, Onyemata, Westbrooks as well. All were East-West Shrine game players. Back to action. East with the football down, 14-0. Ole Miss, Jordan Teamu still at quarterback. 1 for 3 early. Turnover on that last drive led the points the other way. It's the Syracuse receiver, the 6'5" Jamal Custis with that one.
Let's keep an eye on the big Elon offensive lineman here. Oli Udoh has been one of the better players, number 57. And this is an interesting story. 373 pounds coming out of high school. He checked in at 328 here. He steadily lost weight. Said a lot of cardio. Did a lot of cardio.
That is a lot of cardio.
And he has about the biggest feet I've ever seen. He's got size 17 feet.
I mean, that's NBA center size.
But he's a good athlete.
And he might have been the most impressive offensive lineman here this week. Lined up there at right tackle. As the give is going to go to Marquise Young, again from UMass, very productive at UMass. Marquise Young, 3,600 career yards on the ground, 29 touchdowns, 32 in all.
Did a nice job catching the ball this week, too. Had a sweet one-handed catch during the week of practice. All these running backs really caught the ball well. You can tell that the college game is, even if they're not doing it in game, these guys are catching a lot of balls in 7-on-7 throughout the offseason, high school and in college, and it's more polished.
Young had 98 career receptions at Amherst. Got 4 there. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll give it to the up back. That's Army's Darnell Woolfolk, a future field artillery officer. A great time talking to him a couple of days ago. 3-time All-State linebacker. Going to go back to West Point, get his work done, maybe work with a football team eventually, go to officer training, and then an 8-year career in the military, in all likelihood, is in his future.
Hey, Buck, you think that's the first time he's ever run the dive?
He looked very, very comfortable plunging in between the A-gap. Yeah, that's a staple play for him at Army.
Turnaround for Army. Woolfolk, a huge part of it. Draw. Marquise Young over the right side. Maybe 3 yards. That offense was fun to watch. This team was fun to watch, guys.
There we go. Same thing. We'll dive option. Doing it at the service academies for quite some time. And Buck, tell me one defensive lineman that's ever enjoyed playing against that team.
Nobody. They beat you up, man. I watched them in the bowl game put 70 on Houston, and they could have scored 100 if they really wanted to keep their foot on the gas. That option play, the dive option, with Woolfolk running, was one of their main factors and really helping this offense dominate.
Could be his final football game. Nice catch there by number 9, Terry Wright out of Purdue. Had some gas on that one, too, from Te'amu. And Wright is down.
He's going to work right in here, just coming across the field. Never mind the squiggly line there.
Good job on the squiggly line there. At 26 on the coverage, Darius Pickett from UCLA. Wright got up, though, favored the right arm briefly, bounced up and ran to the sideline. He's getting checked out. So Te'amu now 3 for 5, 39 yards.
You want to explain that as not a member of the Rams playing on?
That is not a member of the Rams. That is Marcus Jones, not John Johnson, the Rams safety. Marcus Jones wearing a helmet from Angelo State. Te'amu under pressure, and it is John Johnson of the Rams. No, Marcus Jones.
That play was made by Daniel Wise. If Dietrich's watching right now, he's going to see little brother get after it. He's inside working upfield. Watch him just press back, flatten, and trip him up.
You know, DJ, it's funny that we talking about Wise. As scouts, you can remember how we always love guys who have legacy, either family members that have played in the National Football League. And because his dad, his older brother, and now him will all play in the National Football League, you begin to think that rushing the pass and being a dominant player is part of the family business.
Mom and Dad were here for practice on Thursday, sticking around to watch today's game, then obviously the big game with older brother Dietrich, with a shot at a trip to the Super Bowl coming up tomorrow in Kansas City.
Be surprised if Terry Godwin got another ball here. A chance to make a play. Slot.
Tyree St. Louis, the Miami offensive tackle, walks to the sideline. Right, Godwin is there. Slot to the right, the Georgia wide receiver. This is 2nd and 15 for Te'amu. He's going to hand to Young on the draw. He's got nowhere to go. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but Darius Pickett, 100 tackle a year guy for UCLA.
I think I hear B.J. Blunt all the way up here in the booth, by the way.
B.J. Blunt, the McNeese State linebacker, wearing 18. We are told by coaches on both sides he has not yet stopped talking since the day he got off the plane.
He hasn't stopped. Even when he's not in a drill, you hear him across the entire field. He's an undersized linebacker who obviously believes in himself tremendously. He's just a little over 6 foot. He's 203 pounds. You see the production there, but not lacking in confidence, and he might need a lozenge before this one's over.
An FCS All-American. McNeese State coming up on the 2-minute warning. Again, NFL clock here. Te'amu, the head and shoulder fake, and nowhere to go. He's going to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he won't. Angelo State is there, and Oregon is there. It's Jones and Hollins.
Not surprised to see Hollins making a play. Really came on later in the week of practice. He's played on the ball and off the ball. Much more comfortable rushing the passer.
A third down sack, fourth down coming up. 2 minutes to go. Opening half here. The West for Adam Zimmer has the lead, 14-0.
First round, or second round, or third round. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to put that helmet and shoulder pads on, just like the guy that went in the first or the second round. And when you get your opportunity, it might not come in the first practice, it might not come in the first week. But when you get your opportunity, be prepared, know what you're supposed to do it at 100 miles an hour, and let the chips fall where they may.
Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Famer, played in this game in 1990. His brother Sterling had played a couple of years earlier. It was their stepping stone to NFL greatness, as so many of these guys hope to use the East-West Shrine game the same way. Learning to be an NFL player, showing the GMs and the scouts and maybe some of their future peers watching at home that they belong. A.J. Cole from NC State has got to punt it away. He has got a leg. He has got a booming leg. Poindexter can't return it regardless. Part of the rules here. He's going to let it bounce halfway through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. 1:52 to go. That was Daniel Jeremiah. We got Bucky Brooks down to the sideline. Aditi Kinkabwala as well. I'm Andrew Siciliano. 1:52 left on the clock for the West to come out here with 2 timeouts and see what they can do. Both coaches, and we heard this yesterday, Sam Mills now, or rather Adam Zimmer now, coaching the West, said they were concerned about keeping their timeouts for these 2-minute drills. They have 2 timeouts in the pocket here on the West side for Zimmer. Marcus McMarion from Fresno State still in there at quarterback. He is 3 for 7 to start the day. He has Divine Ozigbo from Nebraska in the backfield, and he's going to take the delay out of the shotgun and push his way close to a first down. Give him 10.
See the power there. He's body type wise, he looks like Michael Turner. When Michael Turner was coming out of Northern Illinois, Buck, I don't know what you think, but that to me is the exact same body type and that top end speed. He's got a lot of long runs when you study him.
You know, DJ, when I looked at him, he does look like Burner Turner. He also reminds me a little bit of Kareem Hunt when he went to the Senior Bowl. Big guy who can run inside but also catch the ball well out of the backfield.
Ozigbo, one of 8 guys last year in FBS to average 7 yards a carry. Got 10 on that one. Brody Oliver, the intended receiver there. Little miscommunication with the other quarterback. 2nd and 10. 1:23 on the clock.
Can I be selfish here?
You may.
Let's watch Trey Pipkins, the left tackle from Sioux Falls, whose small school guy has had a great week, and he's going to get an opportunity here. And you know it's passing situation. He's the left tackle working right up there. Let's just keep an eye on him and see how he does.
See how McMarion does here. Now 3 for 8 passing in a 2-minute drive. Looking right the whole way. And he throws behind his tight end back, 3rd down.
Well, he got a little help there. That helps you out. Pipkins allowed to overset a little bit, but has some help inside. You're going to see he's got working with the guard here. Watch, he almost oversets, gets beat a little bit inside. The guard's there to help him out. Nice to have a buddy.
Working against Cincinnati's Cortez Broughton. 3rd down, 1:17 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Situational football here. 2-minute drive. Couple of timeouts. Need the 41 to keep it going. McMarion throws it away.
Here we go. Let's get another look at Pipkins. So he overset. He was able to overset and get beat inside. Let's see what he does this time. Oversets, little spin move, gets beat inside. The guard's late to help him on this one. And you end up getting the pressure. I know Bucky's excited about it because it's a Tar Heel back there generating some pressure. Malik Carney.
Hey, Malik Carney's a guy that Sam Mills and those guys were excited about. You saw his athleticism, his ability to make plays, doing limited action in North Carolina. Anytime you have guys that can put up 5.5 sacks in 3 consecutive years, you feel good about the ability to rush the pass at the next level.
17.5 sacks for Malik Carney as Jack Fox from Rice punts it away, and the obligatory fair catch in this game called for by Ryan Davis inside the 20. Coming up in the half, back to LA, Cole Wright Rod Woodson, TD in the studio. First half highlights and a preview of the two big games coming up tomorrow. The NFC Championship game in New Orleans and the AFC Championship game coming up in Kansas City.
Hey, Buck, I didn't know, I haven't heard any updates yet. Are you going back to North Carolina, too? It seems like it's everybody goes back
well, you know,
to North Carolina.
we're trying to bring the gang back together. We're trying to bring the gang back together. There's a lot of excitement. Coach Brown comes back. A lot of my former teammates are there on the staff. So, yeah, I'm excited. I may go back.
I'd love to see you guys make a bowl game again. That'd be fun.
Well, you know, we got a big date the third week of September.
App State.
Yeah, we have an in-state team. Yeah.
Best program in the state.
We got a new quarterback here, Taylor Cornelius out of Oklahoma State. Wants the deep ball early, and he's going to get... No, it got dropped. He had Horsted down the right sideline there. Kadar Holman from Toledo had the coverage.
This is the matchup right here. Holman plays it perfectly. He's in beautiful position. Watch him turn around, get your head around, locate the football. Walls him off and just got to finish. Oh. Look at this, he's got it. And actually, let's give Horsted a little bit of credit. He's able to poke that ball out, but nice job there by Holman. 6 foot, 193-pounder out there from Toledo. Nice work.
Let's talk about this quarterback here as well. Taylor Cornelius, a one-year starter. Once Mason Rudolph headed to the Steelers, led the team in rushing touchdowns. Coaches yesterday said they liked the way he worked in the 2 minutes, so they're going to give him a chance here. On second down, he throws to Sokol, the Michigan State tight end. He's out of bounds. Clock stops at 50.
Nice play there by Andrew Wingard making the tackle from Wyoming, who had a great nickname. I thought he looked like Kid Rock, number 27 out there, but coaches said his nickname was the Ghost because all of a sudden he'd just show up out of nowhere and make a play. Nice job there closing and securing a firm tackle.
Cornelius here, as we look at the quarterback, is an interesting guy. He's a former walk-on. He's a good 6'6", 6'7", and he can run. He can't run from that, as Justin Hollins from Oregon brings him down.
A little up and under move here from Hollins. Going to go upfield and then come right back underneath the tackle. Watch him down here. Upfield, get him a set wide, and then use your hands, swipe him off. Right underneath for the sack. You can tell he's got a natural feel as a pass rusher. Buck, he's not quite as comfortable off the ball and moving backwards, but you let him attack like that, you see what you get.
You absolutely see what you get. The coaches talked about, he kind of reminded them of Matt Judon, who plays for the Baltimore Ravens. Talk about a long, athletic kid, a perfect 3-4 hybrid outside linebacker defensive end. He has certainly helped himself with his play and performance this week.
He beat Justin School there from Vandy at left tackle, a 2-year starter for the Commodores. It's a loss of 11, fourth sack, brings up a 4th and 19, and brings out A.J. Cole to boot it away from 1 yard deep in the end zone. It's a high one. Might have called infield fly on that one if this were a baseball game. And Holcomb will down it near the 46. Wow.
They're trying to sell that it was touched. Well, I don't think it was. Hats off to the coaching staff there, though. Nice effort.
And now we get a chance to see the winningest quarterback in college football. That is Easton Stick, who won 49 games at North Dakota State, including the FCS National Championship just a couple of weeks ago. 88 career touchdowns. He followed Carson Wentz and did not disappoint.
It's a great opportunity here. Just 37 seconds. See if you can get a field goal.
He's got one timeout. Ball's on the 46. Easton Stick steps up, avoids the sack, and then flicks it to Blanton. And Blanton goes airborne, cut down by Moreland. They're going to have to clock it. He's short of the first down, 39-yard line. Poindexter is rushing to get back there and line up. Clock under 20. Out of the shotgun, they're not going to clock it.
He never got set. I don't think Poindexter was ever set.
Jeff Heeser's our ref, ACC official.
Ball start. Offense, number 19. 10-second runoff applies here. Please reset the game clock to 4 seconds. Start it on my signal.
Oh, I don't know.
It's close.
Ah, come on.
It's close. That's right. I want to get an opportunity to see a long field goal here pretty quick.
I mean, technically you need a beat. You need a second there on the line. They didn't give it to him. Now they're going to put the clock at 4. Now they spike it. It's a running clock. So they spike it. Stick does at 3. Now, this is not field goal range. Now, maybe
we're going to try it.
Maybe for Matthew Gay. I don't know about John Barron. His career long is 54.
He hit a 55 during warm-ups. This is a little bit more.
This, by my math, is going to be 61. Why not?
30-second timeout.
So we have a timeout here taken by the East. This is going to be, again, a 60 or 61-yard try. Barron is a lefty, which in an all-star game is a challenge.
It's a challenge for the holder because you're not used to holding for a left-footed kicker. Not an easy task, but something they figured out during the week of practice. That's why you get the reps, and Fox has done a nice job making that adjustment. But this is a tall ask. The Utah kicker now, we saw him bang one for about 65 during the week.
Matthew Gay told me before the game that his career best in practice is 70. The longest field goal in an East-West Shrine game is 57 by Zach Hocker for the East, the Arkansas kicker. That was 5 years ago. This officially is a 60-yard try by John Barron with Jimmy Moreland back there at the back of the end zone to return it if it's short. From 60. Not enough distance.
Now we're going to have some.
Moreland's going to bring it out. Moreland from James Madison. Moreland to the 20. Moreland has the 30. Moreland by the kicker. Moreland tripped up near midfield. Almost brought it back. The tackle there by Chris Wilkerson. The long snapper saved the touchdown.
You almost had the kick 6 part 2 here.
You know, DJ, it shouldn't be a surprise. This is a guy that had 18 career interceptions. He has 6 pick sixes in his career. So he's special with the ball in his hands. You already can think about special teams coaches signing him up to put him in the back end as a potential kick returner.
And let me say this.
McAfee's not going to be happy with that for the brand, though. We needed a better tackle there from Barron.
I might have called James Madison small earlier. My brother went there, texted, it's not a small school, 21,000. Aditi Kinkhabwala on the field.
That was a gutsy move right there, going for a 60-yard field goal.
Well, he's had a pretty good leg in practice, and we want to give him a chance. They got a long way to go to return that, and we practiced covering the kick all week, so I think we're okay.
Okay, 14 points, though. That's a veritable offensive explosion. What's been working really well?
Well, number one, we've won the field position battle. We've really pinned them deep on special teams, made them go the long way, and then we made some nice plays on the offense. We've done a good job protecting the quarterback, so we got to keep that up in the second half.
And what do we want to see in the second half?
A lot of the same. No penalties, force some turnovers on defense, and let's keep scoring points.
All right, thank you. Back to Andrew.
All right, Aditi and Adam Zimmer, thank you. 14-0. A couple of touchdowns, one by Brissett, the other by Ozigbo after a turnover. The West trying to make it 4 in a row, leading. Back to LA at the break. Game. DJ, did you get on the jet ski this week?
No, but I wanted to go parasailing so bad. I just never was able to quite pull it off.
Why didn't you?
I should have. Bucky got a 5K in this morning. I should have got after it. Got on the parasailing. Didn't do it.
Daniel Jeremiah, he's speaking of Bucky Brooks. I'm Andrew Siciliano. It is the West on top of the East. 14-0 here at the half at Tropicana Field, the 94th East-West Shrine game. We saw some offense.
It's nice to see offense in these all-star games, and I thought really you just look at the quarterback position and the job that Brett Rippon did. He had the best week of practice, and that carried over to the game. Sometimes that doesn't happen. We see guys that are gamers and they struggle during the week of practice. Well, he delivered during the week, and he's delivering today. Take what they give you. Be patient. Take the little stick route, and now you see him working in the middle of the field, and then the touchdown, drop one in the bucket, and flash the touch. So it's a lot of good things from him. It's great to me when it carries over from the practice week right to the game.
It carried into the game. His uncle, Mark Rippon, is an East-West Shrine Game Hall of Famer. He was
maybe he's gonna join him, finish it up with a nice second
half. A couple of weeks ago, a couple of years ago, I beg your pardon. Brett Rippon with an early touchdown to make it 7-0. Down to the sideline, I mentioned Bucky Brooks. Hey, Bucky.
Hey, it is all about Jordan Brailford and the way he's performed in the first half. We saw him make some dominant plays off the edge. We saw him come with a pass rush. He's active. He has been all over the place when it comes to really getting to the quarterback. And then when you see him hustle and run and chase and make plays on the run game as well as the pass, you certainly are excited about the potential that he's shown during this week of practice.
Jordan Brailford, a left defensive end, a right defensive end, had 9 sacks to lead Oklahoma State this year. Played all 3 linebacker spots as well. Brailford's coach is Sam Mills from the East. Here he is in the locker room.
Listen, man, the beauty of this game is it's 4 quarters. It's 4 quarters. Now, we're getting this ball when we come out of this locker room. Offense, protect the football, first downs, and touchdown. We need a touchdown. Defense, 3 and out. And then offense, do it again. And then defense, do it again. And special teams, be special. So let's go. East on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's gonna work.
Gotta love the Sam Mills energy there with this team down 14-0 at the half. They had won the toss to start the game and deferred. West took it down the field and got it in the end zone to make it 7-0 early. Now the East will get it here to start the third quarter. Third quarter underway at Tropicana Field. That is Marquise Young from UMass. Good return ability. He's going to bring it back towards the 20 yard. Let's go down to Aditi.
I grabbed Sam Mills as he ran onto the field. He said very simply, 1, protect the football, 2, be cleaner on special teams, and 3, get off the field on 3rd down. He said his guys are just learning to play together. He also said, and this will make you happy, Andrew, we're going to be taking shots in this half.
I assume he means shots down the field. Aditi, thank you. He's going to open it up with Taylor Cornelius here, who had 1 series late in the second quarter. The Oklahoma State quarterback is going to give to the Maryland running back, Ty Johnson, here to open up the second quarter. It's what both of the coaches, DJ, Bucky, said this week. They want to be aggressive. We've seen all-star games that are field goal fest. They did not want that. We saw the opening drive when the West took a shot at the end zone. The East has not been able, though, to really make big plays down the field.
Well, it's hard to take deep shots when you have some issues in protection, and both these squads had some trouble in pass protection, so that's the challenge going forward.
Second down, have once again Johnson in the backfield. Cornelius, who's an interesting quarterback prospect. I told you 6'6", it's Sokol there. He only got 1 year. He's a former walk-on. He waited his time, DJ, behind Mason Rudolph. Put together a nice year.
Yeah, he's a tall drink of water now. He is really, really skinny, but I liked his athleticism. That's the trait that I like that you can build around going forward. He's got plenty of arm strength, but it's his ability to move around when things break down and make some things happen with his legs that gives him a chance.
Led the team with 10 rushing touchdowns. Finally got a shot through 32 touchdowns as well. There he is, 3rd and 1. Lost the handle. Lost the ball, backing away from center. His teammates fall on it for him. It's going to be 4th down.
And I'll tell you what, when you've got to worry about Dalen Mack inside, the big nose tackle here from Texas A&M, he's right in there. He sees that push. Sometimes you don't really concentrate on getting that ball where it needs to be when you've got big Dalen Mack over you.
Actually, Cornelius fell on it himself, so he saves it. Only had 1 ball on the ground from center this week. Big thing in these all-star games, everything's out of the shotgun these days, as we see Dalen Mack, who's been wreaking havoc in this building all week long. It's getting the ball from center. Both coaches said that it was clean most of the week. We have our first ball on the ground there as Cole punts it to Poindexter. Fair catch inside the 25. And a quick 3 and out for the East. 14-0, just getting started here in the third.
Hey, what you bringing to football?
A Shrine game. The Legends coaches. Mark Brunell is on the sideline and mic'd up today.
Come on, man. I like the back-to-back skinny posts. That was nice.
Who's the best guy you ever played with?
Quarterback? Breeze.
Yeah.
He's got a sweet helmet.
Like that?
Sweet helmet. I like that. What did you get this for? What this one for?
All the seniors get them.
Ah, I love it. That's cool. That's cool.
Cool there to have Mark Brunell down there. If I'm Easton Stick, I say, this one, those are national championships on my helmet.
Easton Stick's an interesting guy. You know, he's won a lot of football games there at North Dakota State following Carson Wentz, and is actually very close with Carson.
Pretty cool, though, that whether it's Mark Brunell or Willie McGinnis or Aeneas Williams, you have Hall of Famers, all pros here coaching this week. Darren Hall with the carry there.
Darren Hall's a strong dude, man. He bounced off a couple tackles there. Going back to Easton Stick, though, real quick, reached out to Carson Wentz and said, what can you tell me about your quarterback this week? And he said, I've never been around anybody that's more football 24/7, 365. I've encouraged him to try and get a hobby. I don't know that he has one, but Carson is really close and was in his wedding, and I'm sure he's watching today.
You know what his hobby is? His hobby is winning FCS national championships. He has two, and actually, ball knocked out of the line, and it falls on the turf. Holcomb from Carolina got a hand on it. If not for Carson Wentz coming back from injury, when Stick was a freshman, he might have had 3 national championships.
If you can't get home, get your hands up. He's unblocked, and nice job of reading it, jumping, get your paw on it.
Cole Holcomb, a walk-on at North Carolina, was going to walk on at Duke. That fell through, walked into Larry Fedora's office, sold himself, put together a great career, and is now here in the East-West Shrine game, knocking that down. It's 3rd and 7. Easton Stick and the West. To get across the 30, Stick. Nowhere to go. Incomplete in traffic. Wanted Tarver from Utah State.
Back-to-back plays there by Holcomb, the linebacker from North Carolina, in coverage. See the route here. We'll stack and just a spot route, just trying to check up right there in the zone. I see him meet the football, but nice play there by Holcomb.
Double ACC coverage as Tim Harris, 21, the Virginia corner, was also there. Terry Godwin, Georgia wide receiver. Back to return this punt on the 30. Jack Fox from Rice has been busy today. This would be a returnable punt if this had been a real game. There is a flag on the far sideline, however, as Godwin takes it in near the 25. Wait a second.
This has been a pretty clean game, though, penalty-wise.
I don't think we had a penalty in the first quarter.
During the kick, holding. Receiving team number 80. 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down. Timeout.
So they'll back up, and we will step out. The East getting the ball back, 14-0.
Gave us a chance. Gave us a chance. Good job. Keep hot. Keep hot.
I've got some play in the East-West Shrine game. The 1972 East-West Shrine game featured Barry Smith, who ended up being the 21st pick by the Green Bay Packers, a Florida State Hall of Famer. Went on to a nice career as a wide receiver in the NFL, and he's a Shriner as well, and he's here, Aditi.
He is, and Andrew, before we begin, I just need to make sure everybody knows that Hall of Famer Barry Smith said if the ball comes our way, it's my job to protect him.
I do not want to get run over at this age, okay? I'm still in one piece. I want to stay that way.
All right, well, Barry, you are a Shriner. Can you explain to our audience what that means to you?
Well, you know, it's a commitment, but it's a great commitment. It's not one that's really hard to do because it's all about giving back and really raising money for the 22 Shriner hospitals that we have. And it's about helping the kids and the families that just have issues that can't help themselves, and we want to be able to do that.
So when you see these players obviously auditioning for their future,
Yep.
but also make such an effort to be around these kids, what does that mean to you? What does that mean for this game?
Well, you know, the continuation not only of the game, but like our mission again, with, you know, with helping the children. These guys here, because of the hospital visit, they have met the children, they've met the kids. They understand why they're playing in this game. Besides, you know, trying to help themselves at the next level, they understand that kids are important. It's important to give back, and hopefully that at some point they'll maybe become a Shriner, or at least they'll try to help the cause with the hospitals.
So take us back to when you were a young man like this. What did playing in an all-star game like this before your pro career mean to you?
Well, it's huge, and especially back, I played in the '72 game. We had leather helmets back then, but it was big because really it is your audition. I mean, we all had fire in the belly. You know, it was the best of the best. And it was your opportunity, you know, to make a statement, to try to catch somebody's eye, to see not only could you get drafted, but maybe go up a notch from, you know, one round to the next round. And I loved my time playing in the East-West Shrine game. We had a great time in San Francisco.
When you were at the banquet last night, and of course we saw excellent footage of that, what stood out to you? What do you hope that people at home take from that?
You know, again, it's that life is about giving back, all right? And I know I tell everybody, when God takes my last breath, I want to make sure that I'm giving back, that I've given back, and I'm not taken. And I hope that, you know, more people think about that, especially in today's world, you know, that we need to be giving back. You know, we all have a lot of great things going on, and it's better than we really think it is. So give back, especially helping those that are less fortunate than we are.
Barry, we really appreciate the time, and let's enjoy the rest of this game.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Well said, Barry Smith, the Hall of Fame enshrinee this year. While Troy Vincent, who joins us later in the East-West Shrine. 3rd and 3 for Oklahoma State's Taylor Cornelius. Forced out of the pocket. It's going to be a hold. He's going to run. He's going to get the first down. But there's a flag in the backfield there as Marcus Jones was getting close from Angelo State, and he got tackled. I think they're going to get Josh Miles.
Holding. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
My eyes were drawn into this matchup here, though. We've got Georgia and Texas A&M. It's not easy to anchor down against Big Mac there, but Gilliard's doing his best, and at the very end, Villanova chips in and helps him out.
But you also had the hold.
Yeah, the hold's on one side, but I want to watch what I think is the best center in this game in Gilliard going up against the powerful nose tackle we've been talking about, Dalen Mack. It's fun to watch those guys wrestle.
Absolutely, and they were wrestling all week as well, granted, with their own teammates as they were practicing each team by themselves. Lamont Gilliard there, the center, 55 out of Georgia, first team All-SEC, who we spot shadowed there. And the hold is going to back it up for a 3rd and 13. Cornelius over the middle and intercepted. You can get up and run. That's McNeese State's B.J. Blunt with the interception, and he brings it back inside the 25. B.J. Blunt with the 2nd forced turnover for the West today. Playing center field with a nice catch. 2nd quarter action here at Tropicana Field.
Hey, Sticks.
Little get-to-know-each-other thing early in the week. Said, say something about yourself. B.J. Blunt, DJ, said he was going to be the MVP.
Look at it right here. He's right here. You're going to see the tight end trying to get down the seam, but he's free to roam, and he's just going to read Cornelius's eyes. It's going to take him right to the football. Gets a jump on it, full extension, and he said he was going to be the MVP. That's going to help the cause right there.
I think he wanted Sokol, the tight end there, up the seam. And B.J. Blunt from McNeese State started his career as a safety, now a linebacker, maybe undersized for a linebacker. Good hands either way.
I'm anxious to see when we're going to see the O crud screen. They have it in.
The O crud. You want to explain the O crud?
I cleaned it up. It's a throwback screen to the tight end, and they told us they've got that play in. They're going to save it for the right time.
DJ Cleveland, TV. Thank you, DJ. O crud screen. Easton stick play fake. He's going to take a shot. It's a cut. It's a touchdown for Poindexter. Sean Poindexter from Arizona. A touchdown machine this past year. Scored 11 for the Wildcats.
A little play action and going backside. I believe those Bird Box.
I think those Bird Box. I haven't seen it yet. I'm too scared.
Here he is right here. You're going to see him work up the field, and it's a little tight bootleg. Watch him widen the coverage and then come flat right across for a touchdown. Beautiful route. Nice play design, and Stick puts it right on the money. Carson Wentz enjoyed that one.
You know, DJ, and thinking about Poindexter, I think his background is really interesting. A volleyball player, a guy who started off playing volleyball before making the transition, went to junior college, then making his way to Arizona. Reminds me a lot of when I worked out Luke Bennett, who was a longtime wide receiver from UCLA, played in the league. He was a volleyball player as well. That athleticism and playmaking ability sometimes can serve you well in the National Football League.
And he had such an amazing run this year, too, for the Wildcats. Caught multiple TDs in 4 straight games and 11 on the year after having only 1 the year before. Down the sideline to Aditi again.
Sean Poindexter has only played football for 2 years, Andrew. Here's something else, though. His dad moved his wedding up a week to last weekend just so that Sean could be in his wedding and so that Dad could come here and watch him in this game. He is raw. He said to me before this game, my upside is ridiculous.
Well, it's a great story, and thanks, Dad, for moving things around, by the way, as Cornelius is back in there, quarterback hands to Young. Marquise Young from UMass has big room. And he's going to carry it across the 45, put his head down, and go through Tyreek Cannell from Michigan.
See Tyler Jones at the top of the screen here. Watch him work down and create that crease. Go left side of the line, and just no hesitation whatsoever from Marquise Young.
Gets 22 on that one. Brings it out towards midfield, so a sign of life here for the East offense. Still have Cornelius from Oklahoma State into the game, getting shut out here, 21-0. Young around the right side. 3 yards across midfield.
That's Nick Allegretti once again. He started off strong in the first half from Illinois. Watch him. And watch the job he does here to clear the way. 67. Latch on, run your feet. It's a little bit of help there. Keep going, don't quit. Ends up on the Gritzer defender on the ground.
Allegretti, a Campbell Trophy semi-finalist. Playing center and guard. Here playing right guard for the East. With a timeout on the field.
First charge timeout. East.
The East is going to take a timeout with 8:27 to go in the third. Trying to get the offense going. Down 21-0. Whatever.
I am brave.
The 94th East-West Shrine game. It's about putting good stuff on tape, DJ, and it's about impressing guys like you.
Yeah, we see some power players. These guys were physical all week long in practice. Dalen Mack, 6'1", 335 pounds, getting all kinds of knockback. Chris Nelson from Texas doing the same thing at 303 pounds. And Ozigbo, who we've talked about, he's 219 pounds now. He's actually dropped a little weight from what we saw during the fall. And then we've talked about Gilliard, who is just kind of a wrestler inside at 303 pounds. Those guys have been power players all week long in practice.
Gilliard helped Georgia lead the SEC in rushing back-to-back years at 4,000-yard backs these last couple of seasons here. On 2nd and 5, Taylor Cornelius from Oklahoma State is picked off. That's Mazie Wilkins from USF. Got here late in the week, and he gets a pick and takes it back across midfield. Another turnover, third of the day, forced by the West.
Another turnover, and this was caused because, unfortunately, a wide receiver couldn't get out of his break. As a quarterback, you've got to have trust. You've got to throw that on time. But he's got to get a little bit of help from his wide receiver to work back towards him. When he drifts at the top, watch him when he gets to the top of the route. This is just a teaching point here for Custis. Get out of your break. You can't sit. You got to work back downhill. When you don't do that, you allow the defender to be able to eat up that ground, and that's exactly what Wilkins did.
And that's something that maybe with more time and experience on the field, Custis will learn. Really only played 1 year at Syracuse, despite his size, a former basketball player at 6'5", a little trouble getting out of breaks. He's dangerous in the red zone, though, but you got to clean up the other fine points. Wilkins, again, late in the week when somebody got injured, gets here and gets an interception. West back with a football, Easton Stick, North Dakota State. Nowhere to go, Brailford. And then everyone meet at the quarterback back on the 47.
I think that was our play. I think that was our O-Crud screen. It's a bootleg, and you're trying to get the ball back to the tight end. Right here, he's the H-back. They're going to try and boot this way, and watch the line's going to be set up. It's going to be a throwback. But he's unable to set his feet because there's too much pressure.
How about Brailford getting in the mix again? Was this second, maybe third sack that he's had today? Just the effort off the edge.
I think Beck saw that wasn't going anywhere. He kind of aborted it.
95, Chris Slayton from Syracuse was also there, as Tarver from Utah State has this one. Kind of threw me off there. We have two Syracuse players there wearing different helmets. We have Custis wearing the white, and we have Slayton wearing the darker helmet. That is a Utah State helmet there.
See right here. Drive underneath the ball and then just come off, make a tackle.
Trey Watson up on the tackle there. It's a 3rd and 14 after the sack had knocked him back on first down. Need the 25 to keep it alive. Easton Stick, the quarterback. Divino Zigbo from Nebraska in the backfield. And that's Brody Oliver from the Colorado School of Mines. Nowhere to go. Watson has been all over the place there from Maryland.
I don't think Oliver realized he'd be doing so much blocking this week. Did a nice job catching that ball, but you're going to see him once again. We saw it earlier in the game. He's working inside. He's got to help out and block here first before he releases, try and slow down this edge rush. Well, he did a whole lot of this in college. See guys like that coming off the edge. I don't think at Colorado School of the Mines didn't see Kyle Lawrence Phillips types from Tennessee.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. Adam Zimmer, he's going to keep his offense out there. From here, it would be a 52-yard field goal. Easton Stick on 4th and 9, steps up, throws to the outside. Tarver, is he inbounds? Yes, but he's going to be a yard shy. They needed 9. He got 8.
So the ball's going to take him back down the stem here. Just needed a little bit more depth. He's got plenty of space right there, but just had to come back too far to the football. I think if it's on time, I have a shot at that first down. It's just a little bit late.
Beg your pardon, it was John Duhart there. I'm sorry, from Old Dominion on the sideline there. Came back and got the football, got 8 when they needed 9, and it is a turnover on downs. So the East, after a couple of interceptions, takes the ball back on downs, and David Blau, who started the game from Purdue, is back in there.
If they're going to get some points going here, they've got to get Terry Godwin the ball and get him vertical. That's their best shot to eat up some ground.
Godwin has only 1 catch of the day for 26 yards. Ty Johnson on the carry inside with nowhere to go. David Blau started this game. Really helped bring Purdue football back. 3,700 yards, 25 touchdowns this year. Lost his job 2 years ago. Dislocated ankle. But really put together a strong 2018.
No, one thing, they've got a young receiver there that he threw to at Purdue. Is a special player. When you study Blau, you can't take your eyes off number 4.
Blau's taking a deep shot. Oh. Horsted was held, and he still caught it. Jesper Horsted from Princeton at the 35 with Blaise Brown all over him and no flag.
See him working here at the top. Fight through it, don't quit. Use your hands, fight off, and then track the ball beautifully over the shoulder. He caught everything all week long. And you see that baseball background.
And DJ, that's exactly what I was going to bring out, that baseball background, a guy that is all Ivy League pass receiver, but is also a guy that hits over 300 on the baseball team. You can tell as a center fielder, he is very, very comfortable tracking the ball over his shoulder. Man, when you're looking at bios and you see guys that play other sports, particularly baseball, as a skill position, you certainly like that they have the ability to really find the ball in the air.
They had a great story they told us, too, about him. Because the white receiver, they hit him with sneaky fast. He was gritty. They hit him with all those nicknames all week long. That's what they called him, Edelman. They called him Welker. They had a lot of fun with it.
Jimmy Salgado, who's the defensive coordinator for the East, spent 4 years at Princeton and was on the staff there when Jesper Horsted first got there. As mentioned, a center fielder, 324 this past year, was on an Ivy League champion as a baseball player, a leadoff hitter. And he caught everything, as you mentioned, 164 receptions for Princeton. And a nice ball as well by David Blau.
It's kind of fitting. Kind of fitting he plays his last football game on a baseball field.
There you go. Blau again with a deep drop. Blau, this one knocked down incomplete. Let's talk a little bit more about David Blau. DJ, the 4th all-time leader in passing for Purdue, but he's more than just a guy on the field. He really is a huge part of that community as well. And I think all of America was touched by the story of Tyler Trent, the Purdue student who was battling cancer, who we lost 3 weeks ago. Blau really connected with Tyler and his family and brought Tyler. They went together to the College Football Awards show in Atlanta. David said he's done relief work overseas. I mean, this guy is a well-rounded kid. Said it was the most meaningful 48 hours of his life as Johnson runs around the right side. Blau said it just hit him so deeply, and to spend those 2 days together on the road with Tyler and his family, it's a memory he's going to take with him forever.
Incredibly inspiring story with Tyler Trent following that during the season.
Tyler Trent, 20 years old, wanted to be a sports writer, near perfect SAT. We're all touched by his story. Lost him a couple of weeks ago. David Blau with the completion. Custis hung on to this one, and now Custis with some good yards after the catch across the 10. Jamal Custis bounced off the tackle.
You're going to see him just running a slant here. Blau knows right where he wants to go with the football. You got to throw it. We call it a little heavy traffic. Fully extend, show you some toughness and the strength. He gives Blaise Brown a little bit of a ride here. Watch this contact collision. Boom.
Well, and you know, if Custis wasn't so hot on the route before that led to the interception, that is the kind of play he can make. So good job, Jamal Custis, bouncing back and making a play there, and takes it inside the 10-yard line. Ty Johnson from Maryland fights to the 6-yard line.
You mentioned it there, talking about Custis. With a receiver that big, obviously going to be more comfortable. Everything running away. Vertical, slants, posts, go routes. He's going to have the challenge being that big when you've got to gear down and work back towards the quarterback. That's the challenge. Your height benefits you down in this area of the field, but he's going to have to continue to work and improve on getting in and out of breaks.
Was some talk of him maybe walking on for Jim Boeheim's basketball team. Played at the same high school of some former Orange men, Scoop Jardine and Rick Jackson, stuck to football, and here he is lined up bottom of your screen on 2nd and goal. Blau will throw the fade. Custis can't get it. Good coverage there. Kadar Holdman from Toledo.
You're going to see Holman giving up quite a lot of size here on the outside. Gets physical, but I like it. Be aggressive, be physical. Cut him off. It might get a flag on Sundays here for this, but I like the competitiveness. Giving up that much size.
That was a good job by the corner, using good technique, played outside, took the fade away, made him outwork it, and he got away with a no call.
Let's see if they go back to him. We got Custis up here at the top, the other side.
On a 3rd and goal, Blau. Godwin, and a touchdown. The East finally gets into the end zone. It is Terry Godwin out of Georgia.
Nice job of Blau being patient. It's just a simple drag route from Godwin, working right to left in the slot, and he just is nice and patient to let him clear all the way across. They get a nice little celebration right there. You see him right here. He's just going to go all the way across the field here. Takes a little while for him to clear. Once he gets by B.J. Blunt, he's home free, and nice patience and accuracy, good ball.
I mentioned B.J. Blunt, a former safety there, playing in the middle of this defense. Godwin got past him, and it caps off an 8-play drive, 74 yards. And now Matthew Gay from Utah, the Lou Groza Award winner a couple of years ago, with an extra point. He never missed one. No, he missed once. 37 of 38 in his college career. Hits that one to make it 21-6. Mentioned David Blau's relationship with Tyler Trent earlier. Here is the Purdue quarterback at Tyler's eulogy a few weeks ago.
Tonight we get to remember Tyler as a follower of Jesus. And it encouraged me to see Tyler in his element, cheering on his beloved Boilermakers. It inspired me to see how he relentlessly advocated for cancer research. But his undeniable love for the Lord is what has impacted my life forever.
David says he was honored to speak, and again, honored to spend those 48 hours together at the College Football Award Show in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. And Blau throws a touchdown here to Godwin to make it 21-7, doing the radio interview as well on the sideline.
It's a nice day. You see the numbers there, 7 to 10, 112 and a touchdown. Great performance. You know what I'm keeping my eyes on right now, Andrew? I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Canada, 99, right down here.
Matthew Betts from Laval, 35.5 career sacks. Brett Rippon back in the game at quarterback, and Laval forces that bad throw. Look at you.
Look, I just know when he's unblocked, he's going to be darn near unstoppable. As he goes right up through here. Gets off the ball. That's one of the things you can work with here. He's got to get off. He had a little nifty spin move this week in practice. His motor never stops. He's been incredibly productive, and you see there the numbers, the awards he's been given. He's racked up quite a few sacks there in Canada.
Actually, that's Canadian on Canadian crime there, as Brett Rippon does have dual citizenship.
There you go.
There you go. 3rd and 7 for the Boise State quarterback back in there now. Steps up and will throw it low and incomplete for Duhart there over the middle. It'll be 4th down.
Nowhere for Rippon to go down the field, and the pocket just completely collapsed on him. I like he's trying to climb up in there and make something happen. There's just nothing doing.
Blau and Rippon were the starting quarterbacks here to start the day, as Rippon got the team out to the early 14-0 lead, aided by a fumble recovery and a short touchdown run. This one goes nowhere. They go 3 and out, and Jack Fox is back to punt from Rice.
I feel a little comeback coming here.
Yeah?
Comeback.
Well, there cannot be a run back, but you can't have a comeback. Godwin, who scored that touchdown, will call the fair catch on the 28-yard line. As where the East will start things off with David Blau coming back out there. He's put together a nice day.
He's done a nice job, and he doesn't have anything skill set wise that's going to wow you. Blau you doesn't wow you.
I see what you did there.
But no, he doesn't have just a huge arm. He reminds me a little bit of Chase Daniel, and I could see him having that type of a career. Chase Daniel's hung around for a long time and done well for himself, because when he gets opportunities, limited opportunities, he can be successful. I don't know if he's going to be a long-term starter, but he's so smart, he's so tough. I think he's going to have a chance to stick.
And they liked his leadership. Sam Mills and his coaching staff liked his leadership this week. Really took control of that quarterback room from day one. Here with 2:01 remaining in the 3rd, Blau fakes to Ellis, wants the deep ball, throws the deep ball, and he gets the flag. He wanted Auburn's Ryan Davis, who got tangled up there with Wilkins, who had the pick earlier from USF.
It's a double move.
Pass interference. Defense, number 14, all replaced at the spot.
You're going to see the double move.
1st down.
Watch the stop. He got him to stutter his feet. Actually, a pretty good recovery. Didn't need to grab there. I thought Wilkins maybe just panicked a little bit. His feet had him in position just a little bit too handsy, but did not take the cheese on the double move. And Buck, in these games, usually you give them the cheese like that, they'll take it every time.
Yeah, I mean, he was in perfect position. He just needs to learn how to play with his body on him, and not necessarily grab and hold and those things. And that's the adjustment that so many of these defensive backs will have to make. Continue to get better playing with their feet instead of using their hands.
Davis, the all-time leader in receptions for Auburn. He's on the bottom of your screen. That is Jordan Ellis from Virginia, the back, leaking out of the backfield and getting 9 over the middle to the 26. Down to the sideline again with the DD.
Andrew, you talked about his leadership skills. He was named a captain. He was the player who organized all the centers and the quarterbacks to work on the snap exchange. When I talked to him before the game, he said it didn't surprise him to be named captain. He likes the responsibility on his shoulders. He has spent every single spring break in college going to South Africa to work at an orphanage.
That is great, and he has, David Blau, been well regarded from day one, a former Elite 11 quarterback. And Blau here, though, with a little gas on it and too high for Ellis on the sideline.
I'll tell you what, I know he just had the penalty, but Maisie Wilkins, I've been impressed with him since he's shown up. He has the foot quickness, stayed on top, and then coverage on that snap right there, but he's got a little twitch to him. And these games as scouts, you're trying to find some traits you think you can work with, and he's definitely got some quick twitch.
Mason Wilkins, 3 career interceptions, and he had one today is here. A late addition this week from USF. Can't miss that helmet from up here. It's 3rd and 1. They need the 25. Play fake to Ellis. Blau to Helm.
Keep
the
rolling.
Duke tight end falls down again. This time there's contact. He had a catch earlier in the day. Middle of the field, caught it, no one near him. They had to remind him to get up and get a couple of extra yards, but here he gets the first.
It's always an adjustment in the All-Star game with that.
Got a time out of the field, 2nd catch of the day, good for 11 for the Duke tight end, a transfer from Tennessee.
Did not have to go through the portal, though, I don't believe. I think the portal's new.
The transfer portal.
I love the transfer portal.
All the cool kids are now in the transfer portal.
Oh, the quarterbacks are in the transfer portal.
Oh, yeah.
That's all we hear about. And to that point, and thinking about David Blau, we heard all the coaches talk glowingly about his leadership ability. I can tell you, when he was at Elite 11, the same traits came through. So much of what we ask those quarterbacks to do is not only what they do on the field, but are they leaders? Are they guys that can make their communities better? And we saw it first with the Tyler thing, and then with what he's been able to do this week. He is an A1 leader. Teams will like him.
Yeah, it's vital. It's more than just throwing the football. Obviously, you got to be able to command the huddle, got to be able to command the locker room as well. We saw the leadership skills certainly for the 1st overall pick a year ago in Baker Mayfield. It's more than just, you know,
look at Hollins here. Watch Hollins use his hands here from Oregon. On the edge, you're going to see him be able to stack a block, get off a block. Running backs, you're not going to get blocked by a running back. Press him out, get rid of him. Go find the ball carrier. That's a great play. Another look at it here. Watch his hands. Shoot your hands. Press him out. Find the ball. Go get it.
That's a nice play. I mean, that's textbook, the way that he was able to stack and shed, run it down. He has had a very, very solid week.
Blau going. End zone. Terry Wright, his Purdue teammate, cannot hang on. Back of the end zone with 12 seconds to go in the quarter.
Might have got away with a little bit of a hold there in protection, but Go get the football. Just didn't get anything down. Didn't finish the catch either.
Again, NFL rules. If Wright had caught it, he would need 2 feet down, not 1 as he would in West Lafayette. I don't think even if he caught it, he would have gotten those feet down.
Now this is a challenge here. You put quarterback in a tough spot. You got 3rd and long. Find a way to make a play here.
Godwin and Custis to his left. Ellis in the backfield. Ryan Davis from Auburn to the right. Helm with his hand down slot to the right. Blau on 3rd down, steps up, throws. Godwin has another touchdown.
That's easy. Just get the ball to your best player, and that's Godwin. A little corner route from the slot. We saw him with 1 touchdown working in the right slot. A little drag route, gets in the end zone. Now we're going to see him on the front side run a little corner route. He's right here. He's going to go up and to the flag. Nice job. He's able to beat Blaise Brown to the pylon. An on-time, accurate ball from Blau. I said, Phil, a little comeback. A little comeback going on here.
Hey, DJ, I give Godwin credit for his hands on that. That's not necessarily an easy catch, but the way that he gets his hands away from his body, pulls that in. We talked about him being drafted in baseball. Easy pass catcher. He's been very impressive throughout the week. I think more and more teams come away from this game being very, very impressed with what Godwin has been able to do this week.
Matthew Gay extra point is good, and DJ, you called it. We got to come back. We have 35 points on the board. This is David Blau again to Terry Godwin. And it is 21-14 with 5 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. You called it, DJ. I remember I texted you from LA early in the week. You got down here. You and Bucky did before anyone else. Said, who looks good? And you said Godwin.
Godwin was the best player here. I mean, just when you talk about the splash plays and the wild plays, they couldn't cover him. And these zones, he's got so much burst in and out of breaks, and you get these zones and all this space to operate in. It's perfect for his game.
And again, he was kind of overshadowed in Athens. Malcolm Mitchell, Javon Wims, Riley Ridley. You know, those guys, as you said, there are a lot of mouths to feed, and that's not even taking into account the great running backs they've cranked out.
There's a whole host of them. And, you know, look, he's not the biggest guy. 5'1", 1'3", so he's 5'11" and change, 174 pounds, but the body control and hands are outstanding.
Ozigbo on the toss from Rippon on what will be the final play of the third quarter, and it won't go anywhere. Derek Beatty Jr., the Kentucky corner, up with the tackle. We got a one-score game into 3.
Darn right we do.
How about the East with a couple of touchdowns here? West up 21-14. David Blau here with Tyler Trent. A couple of touchdowns in the third quarter here. TylerTrentBook.com, raising money for cancer research.
I am brave.
All ops for the National Football League, enshrined in the East-West Shrine Game Hall of Fame, along with Daniel Jeremiah. It is a pleasure to be joined by Troy Vincent here in the booth. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm doing well.
Good to see you,
Doing
Troy.
well, watching the good collegiate, now professional game. Getting ready to take off to New Orleans in the morning and watch a wonderful championship game down there. It's been a good week.
We're happy for some offense here as well, especially there in the third quarter. It is great to see, and you saw it firsthand as a player. You've seen it here when you've come back, the development as these players take that first step towards the National Football League.
So that is the one thing during the week you see. Frankly, it's been great to see the young coaches, their energy level, just teaching basic fundamentals, watching the progression of the college rules and the pro rules. Just seeing that it's down by contact.
Right, we've seen that a couple of times.
Seen that a couple times. So it's just great watching the progression, watching the coaches teach, and watching the players actually listen and apply during the week.
Watching Poindexter there with a nice move as well to pick up some yards after the catch and a first down.
What do you remember from your experience as a player here? Sure.
It was fun. Again, it was eyes wide open. You know, we were not a good football team at Wisconsin at that time, so it was a good trip. And then being able to be in a huddle with all the other All-Americans and the people, the Buckus winners, it was fun. It was fun being coach. But frankly, the part that I remember the most was the visit to the hospital and just the time, spending that time with the families, where I thought that we were going to the hospital to give inspiration to the kids. The families and the kids gave us as athletes the greatest inspiration.
And you hear that every year, and it's not a canned line. Unsolicited, you ask the players down on the field during the week of practice, hey, what's the best thing? And you would think their answer might be, hey, it's about me. I want to get seen. I had a good week of practice here in front of these GMs. They always say it's the visit to the hospital.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Because you go there, and here you are. You're in your early 20s. You're in the tip-top shape of your life. And then you walk into a hospital with young men and women who can't walk, who are just looking for hope on a daily basis, and it just transfers. You look in their eyes and you just see brightness, you see hope, and it really is a life changer.
Ripping to Duhart there. It's short of the first down. Going to bring up a third and around 4. Troy, you mentioned the future of the game, and you mentioned the coaches here as well. It's not only developing the players, it's giving Adam Zimmer a shot. It's giving Sam Mills III a shot as well.
Now that's part of it's a development program. It's a development platform for not only the players to be evaluated, assessed, but you got some young, fiery coaches. As you watch the game, they're very enthusiastic. A good learning experience and we try to get the assistant coaches to coach a position that they normally wouldn't coach. So Coach Mills, who's a D-line coach, he's a head coach here. Coach Zimmer, linebacker coach, head coach, and you watch how they interact and watch how they engage with not only the athletes during the week, but the other assistant coaches.
Tarver the catch there for the first down. Actually, Adam Zimmer was telling us yesterday that, you know, he had thrown his name in the hat rather to be defensive coordinator. And they called him. We got an email on a plane. Hey, you're the head coach. And well, okay, I guess I'm the head coach.
You want to push him.
Yeah.
So, no, I want to be the coordinator. No, you're going to be the coach. And it's a difference between being the coordinator and the head coach. But he embraced it. He's done an excellent job all week.
As with first down here for Brett Rippon. Oh, a flea flicker. Rippon from Ozigbo, and then Rippon to Poindexter. How about that?
Little scissors route down the field there. Poindexter working left to right, catching that deep over route. A chance to see the replay and see where he's lined up. He's going to come all the way across the field here. Selling the run, and just enough separation from Virginia's Tim Harris to haul that one in.
Zimmer, Troy told us in the meeting yesterday he had one trick play because he has Vikings on the other staff as well, that he didn't want to play his hand.
So he just played it?
He just played it, but he said there's no way they were going to see it coming. So, lost the handle. No one saw that coming. Rippon was trying to hand it off, and he lost it, and Jordan Brailford there from Oklahoma State, who's been all over the field, comes away with the fumble recovery. That guy has been everywhere.
He's finish up the game right. It's exactly what he's done all day long, find a way to make plays.
Troy Vincent, EVP, and a Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Shrine.
Thank you, sir. I don't know what that was.
Darren Hall doesn't either. 21-14. Swiss Shrine game now, but coming up, we're moving to Mobile. The last time we see these draft-eligible players in pads, the seniors, before the night of April 25th, the 70th Reese's Senior Bowl, all week long on NFL Network, and then the game on Saturday, a week from today at 2:30 Eastern Time, only on NFL Network. I believe, Daniel Jeremiah, earlier you called this the Triple Crown.
Yeah, it's a scouting triple crown here. This are the three big events, the All-Star games, which lead into the Combine, which culminate there in the Pro Days. But this is really the first big opportunity in the spring for these guys to make a statement. This has been fun this week, a fun game, and next week is going to be a blast with all the quarterbacks and O-line and D-line talent in Mobile.
If it's the Triple Crown, I would like a mint julep. Jordan Ta'amu from Ole Miss on the rollout, and a ball high over the head of Jesper Horsted from Princeton. Caught a deep one earlier.
We talk about the importance of these All-Star games. It's not just the practices and what we see on the game field today. It's those meetings in the evening where scouts are getting a chance to spend 10, 15 minutes with a player and really get to know them. And I've always been fascinated by the different questions different teams ask. And some of the better ones, they'll ask these guys to rate themselves 1 to 100 on your own team. And you get some interesting answers. A lot of number ones.
What is the acceptable scale?
Number 1 is good, right? You've got confidence.
Sure.
Number 2 could lead to an interesting name being mentioned, who's ahead of you. The guy that says he's 9 or 11 or 13, that's probably not what you want.
What if they're like 9 or 11 or 13 on, say, Alabama? Terry Wright from Purdue there.
That might be an exception.
Okay.
Alabama's an exception to those rules. The other questions you'll get guys, you know, what's your goal your rookie year? Great answer here from Darius Leonard. We saw the year he had for the Colts. He was asked, what would a successful rookie year look like? He said, I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to take somebody's job, I'm going to keep somebody's job, and then I'm going to make the Pro Bowl. I love that he differentiated between actually taking the job and then keeping it, and he did all 3.
Did he throw in as well, lead the league in tackles and be the leader in the clubhouse for Defensive Rookie of the Year?
He believes in under-promise, over-deliver.
He is one of a couple of guys with a very good case. Derwin James from the Chargers also has a very good case. Marquise Young there from UMass making his case today for a spot in the league, and the tackle there by Andrew Wingard from Wyoming.
Hey, DJ, back on your point about the interviews, I thought one of the things that was always interesting when you're at All-Star games is to ask players to tell us who are the best players that you faced. I'm just a huge believer that players can kind of take you to the water. So sometimes asking those guys who are the best guys in their conference or on their schedule can help you find someone that maybe you overlooked in the year.
And Bucky, what did they say this week about the best guys they faced?
You know, like, when you talk to Godwin and those guys, they talked about Alabama and all the guys that Alabama had and tried it out. So you didn't get many surprises. But as you continue to dig down and ask them about the best players that they faced and also some of the best players on their own team, it matters. Years ago when Frank Gore was coming out of Miami, I asked a bunch of Miami players, who's the best guy you ever seen in Miami? And to a man, they named Frank Gore. And based on how Frank Gore's NFL career has played out, I think it certainly was true based on how they perceived him to be when he was at Miami.
I think it's turned out okay for Frank Gore. Hopefully he continues his NFL career, cut short in December by injury this year. On 3rd and 2, there's Marquise Young keeping the drive alive.
So see if we can get the run game going here.
We got a 1-score game, West over the East. East with the football, 21-14. Bucky Brooks down to the sideline with the D.D. King wallet. Daniel Jeremiah. Andrew Siciliano up in the booth here. 38-yard line now, coming up on 9 minutes to go. Jordan Ta'amu out of Hawaii. Hands to Young. And he gets stood up in the hole there by a guy whose name we're calling a lot today, Justin Hollins from Oregon.
Hollins had a nice day. Buck, to kind of put a bow on the interview questions. I know Ozzie Newsome used to always ask who kind of leaders were and what adversity you've been through. And I remember one year Michigan had a whole host of players on defense. Ozzie would ask all of them that came into the room, who's the leader? And everyone said David Harris, David Harris, David Harris, David Harris, except one player said, no, it's me. And he said, well, all your teammates said it's David Harris. I said, no, it's me. He said, do you guys watch extra tape? He goes, yeah, we get together as defense, and I'm the leader. He goes, who holds the clicker? He goes, David Harris.
Young got 5 on first down. Now Ty Johnson's in the backfield on 2nd and 5. Good feet there. Avoids 1 tackle. Gets out of another tackle. Didn't get much on that. Maybe only a yard, but Ty Johnson, good job. Staying on his feet. Back to Justin Hollins.
Here's a look at Justin Hollins and what he's done. You see him here being able to flow when he's off the ball, go make a tackle. Now you see him stack a block from the running back, find the football, go make yourself another tackle, and now you see the pass rush. Up and under move for a sack. So he showed you he can play on the ball, he can play off the ball, he can stack the run, he can rush the quarterback. That's pretty much the checklist.
He's the only Power 5 player this past year with 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and an INT. So he does it all. And now on 3rd and 4, they need the 48. Te'amu, Godwin, he already has a couple of touchdowns. Here he has another first down across the 30. Terry Godwin is making a case for MVP.
Well, we've seen that corner route work, and now you're going to see Hollins. He's actually going to get a nice little pressure here. Ball gets out just in time. Watch him dip and rip flat into the quarterback. He's close, but now you see this corner out once again. Stack him, separate, track, pluck, and go.
You know, DJ, I'm going to go back to Stefon Diggs a few years ago. Stefon Diggs was a 5-star recruit, was like the #1 receiver in the country ahead of guys like Amari Cooper and others. For whatever reason, got a little sideways at Maryland, was a 5th-round pick, and we've seen what he's been able to do in the league. Godwin was the #1 rated athlete in the country when he came out. He looks every bit the 5-star recruit that he was. He has certainly helped himself this week.
Te'amu overthrows Davis in the end zone.
Davis took an inside release there. That's not much room to squeeze that football.
Ethan Greenidge from Villanova called for the hold.
Can we get a look at the shoelaces for Godwin? I know he's not in right now, but those are phenomenal. That's like,
oh yeah, I got the 2-tone shoelaces.
That's Punky Brewster stuff right there. That's solid.
You're bringing Salil Moonfry into the show. Well done. College roommate of mine. Punky Brewster's cousin.
Come on.
I bet you did not know that. Yep.
I need a name or it didn't happen.
No. Actually happened. 1st and 20. Te'amu, couple of pump fakes, chased by Hollins, and now makes something of it and finds Custis near the 20. Nice play, Jordan Te'amu, and a nice play by Custis to come back for that football.
Yeah, we saw Custis make a little bit of adjustment. This is kind of a scramble drill. Watch the pressure here is going to come from Hollins. He's going to come right through here. Squares him up. Jump, don't jump. Gets him in the spin, and then Custis does a nice job of reading the directions from Te'amu, who's kind of follow your scramble drills. If you're deep, work back to the football. There he is. Okay, work back downhill. Come get it. There you go.
3rd catch of the day for Custis. Tell you what, Te'amu has all the physical traits here. He's making some good throws today as well.
Godwin at the top, too.
And to Young. Nowhere to go. Young hit in the backfield. Who was that? That was Chris Nelson, wasn't it?
That was Texas.
Yep, Chris Nelson from Texas.
You see the quickness here. He's a leverage player. He's got some quickness as he jogs off the field. Take a look. He's working right over the center here. Watch the quickness. Be able to shoot that gap, split it. They're trying to, nice little slant to beat the cutoff block and makes that whole thing go.
Beat Alec Ellerby to the inside, the Florida State offensive lineman.
If I'm trying to win this game, I'm throwing to number 4, Godwin, on every play.
He's in the slot to the right on 3rd and 9. Horsted from Princeton, bottom of your screen. Te'amu. Sacked. Cannot get away from number 90 from Arkansas, Armand Watts, who led the Razorbacks with 7 sacks this year.
Armand Watts here working right there. Nice little swipe move, and absolutely no shot for Everly there from Florida State. Just whiffed. Nice hands.
Tam almost got out of it there. And now we're going to bring out Matthew Gay, who has a ridiculously strong leg. 47-yard field goal try here. His career long is 56. The Luke Rosa Award winner in 2017. It just sounds different.
I was
coming off his
same
foot.
thing. Don't even watch it. Just listen.
Listen to it. And Gay makes this a 4-point game. 4:19 remaining. A field goal for the East here. This doesn't sound full, but you heard it, didn't you? It just sounds different. Go. You can watch every NFL playoff game live on your phone or the Yahoo Sports app or the NFL app. Do not miss out. Download them now as we see Sam Mills there, who wanted to say hello to his grandparents. They are here in Tampa. Couldn't, I beg your pardon, couldn't make it. And Odessa watching at home. Sam Mills III wants to say, hi, Grandma, hi, Grandpa. Thanks for watching. Hey, I got a little choked up there.
Yeah, rightfully so.
That's great.
I don't know if my parents are watching.
You know, well, no, grandparents are watching. And they're now watching Taylor Cornelius out of Oklahoma State back. Oh, I beg your pardon. McMarion back in the game. Flip my chart. That would be Marcus McMarion from Fresno State, who has nowhere to run there, and he's dropped to the backfield for a loss of 3.
Because you can't get away from Canada.
Oh, I know.
You can try and get away from Betts, but he's not having it. He tried to put a little shake on him, and Betts wasn't having it.
That'd be Matthew Betts, a 3-time winner of the award honoring the best defensive lineman in Canada. Coaches liked him. He could play. 35.5 career sacks. There are usually 1 or 2 Canadians. David Onyemata, who's going to play for the Saints, starting for the injured Sheldon Rankins tomorrow, the NFC Championship game. He's a great example.
No doubt. There's a great history here in this game with Canadian players.
A loss of 2 on that one. A 2nd and 12 now. Again, for Marcus McMarion, the Fresno State quarterback. His wide receiver, Keyshawn Johnson, couldn't make it today. Had a good week of practice, though. McMarion, don't know if there's a quarterback draw or not, but he takes it across the 30 to bring up 3rd and manageable. DJ, here's another list. The Splash Brothers.
Oh, Splash Brothers. A little basketball theme here. Guys that just made splash plays during the week of practice. Unfortunately, Keyshawn Johnson did not play tonight for Fresno State, but next to Godwin, he was probably the best receiver here. You see Godwin on there. Wise, who's made some plays today. Taki, best name in the game. He was outstanding during the week. And Dogby from Temple, defensive lineman, was very disruptive. Can I give my my free promotion advice for Taki's team?
Yeah, what is that?
If he gets 10 tackles in a game, it's free Taki Tuesday. I think that's got to happen for his drafting team. They've got to find a way to do that.
Granted, Tuesday's the only day without a game, but you could have a local promotion. We got a flag in the backfield.
He has 10 tackles on a Sunday.
Roughing the passer here, maybe.
Got his money's worth. Holy cow.
Jordan Brailford.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 91, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Missed block there by Beck.
Just went high on him. No real helmet-to-helmet contact, but helmet to the side. I guess their helmets brushed. Either way, Brailford ran right through McMarion. He's having a great game, but that one's 15 and a 1st down.
I hate that there's a penalty there, but Bucky can attest to this. As a scout, we're writing that as a positive on the sheet for being able to show you some juice and some burst coming off the edge.
Yeah, I mean, DJ, how about that? He has been dominant today. Didn't necessarily see him dominate to this level during the week, but this is a great film for him in the eyes of scouts.
Well, interesting conversation then, Bucky. Thanks for walking us right into it. Is how do you judge a player that, say, may not have a good week of practice? Ty Johnson's going to lose a yard, but does have a great game, or has all the measurables maybe in Indianapolis at the Combine, but you put the tape on, and maybe he doesn't flash on tape. Hold that thought, Bucky. 2.5 to go. Got a timeout on the field. And Derek Beatty banged up as well. 21-17. 3 to go. The West trying to kill some clock. Hang on for a 21-17 lead. DJ, you got some names for us?
Yeah, let's go small school, big game. Trey Pipkins talked about him being the best tackle here all week long. Very intriguing. Easton Sticks won 1,000,000 games there at North Dakota State. Brody Oliver, we talked about his touchdown production. Derek Roberson showed you some flashes, some burst off the edge. And Udo, we talked about from Elon, has had a great week playing a little bit of tackle and guard. And you talk about his size, Andrew, 6'0", almost 6'6", 328 pounds, 35 3/4-inch arms. So he doesn't have it all figured out yet, but that's a heck of a lot to work with.
And we're going to see him next week, won't we?
Yeah, you got the Battlefield promotion, so we're going to see him as well as, I think, Texas A&M, right? Did Dalen Mack get bumped up
Yes,
as well?
he did. So the East is out of timeouts here. West has a couple remaining. Clock will stop at the 2-minute warning as Darren Hall has the seam. Darren Hall from Pitt to the sideline. Hall will take it across the 20-yard line before finally being ridden out of bounds by Lucas Dennis.
Watch the left side of the line right over here. Watch these guys work together. Nice little job there by Beck, getting the kick out block, and everybody else gets washed down the line of scrimmage. Blant did a nice job there as well.
It's a gain of 38 for a Hall. Flags down as they give it right back to him. And then he's going to get maybe a yard. Flags at the snap, 2:10 to go. Don't know if we have
offside.
too many men.
Defense number 45. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They're going to get out Gilbert out of Akron for jumping. Hall, though, nice run there for 38. And Hall now has 67 on the day.
He's got some size. He's 217 pounds, and I kind of wrote down glider when I watched him. He's got that real pretty glide once he gets out into the open field. I've been impressed with how decisive he's been today.
We talked about Ozigbo averaging 7 yards a pop. Darren Hall for Pitt this year. And Quadri Allison was the other Pitt back here early in the week. And he's not here for the game, never really made it through. Darren Hall actually averaged 7.5 yards a pop. I never got it in enough beach volleyball this week. 2 minutes to go, 21-17.
I think you're back row.
Yeah, likely.
Now this is Daddy's favorite song.
Edition of the East-West Shrine Game. We're at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. The West, the team with the football, inside the red zone with the lead by 4. A couple of timeouts remaining for the West, but the East here at the 2-minute warning cannot stop the clock.
Two of the guys we've talked about here, Trey Pipkins, the left tackle, working up against Betts, Canadian defensive end.
Monday, ready. 1st and 5 after the offsides penalty, and the gives Darren Hall a 38-yard run earlier on this drive, and he's going to get hit in the backfield and drop. But again, the East and Sam Mills III. Now they are going to stop the clock at 1:53.
Come right down to the wire. I like it. Get a chance to see these guys operate with some pressure. Offensive line wise, can you finish a game? Can you grind them out?
Are we giving them a gratuitous timeout here, a free timeout? Because my scorecard says no timeouts up. Regardless, DJ, show me what Darren Hall has done today.
Yeah, I mentioned that kind of gliding style he has at 217 pounds. Get your foot in the ground, show you the power here. Take the defensive end along for the ride, and then once he sees it, get skinny through the hole. And you saw him pop one here. Once he gets out to the second level, Taki gets by him, leaves him, finishes the run. He's had a great day.
10 touchdowns this year for Darren Hall.
You don't get all these stickers on the back of your helmet without making some plays.
A lot of plays. Didi's out of the sideline. Hi, Didi.
Well, Andrew, you know, I talked to Darren before the game, and he said he was a little disappointed that there's no blitzing and that he cannot show off his pass pro. He said it's one of the strongest parts of his game. Also today, his 5-month-old daughter is here, Eliana. This is the first time she's seen her dad play football live. And yes, Andrew, he does change diapers.
That is fantastic. And he's once again to the backfield on a 2nd and 6 after gaining 4. He's got Andrew Beck from Texas in front of him. And behind Beck, he's going to bounce it to the outside. Darren Hall with a nice cutback and a first down. And the clock now will stop at 1:49.
Holding
with a
offense,
flag.
number 50. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Nick Linder from Indiana, the center. Bring it back.
That's a big penalty. See him working here. It's number 50. Catch him as he's pulling outside. In good position here. Just got to let go. You just got to let go.
Lucas Dennis, the safety from BC, who had that tackle on the 38-yard run earlier by Hall. Coaches love his leadership there, and he got held as Linder was out there on the edge, and so it's going to back him up with 1:49 to go. East trying to get the ball back now with a 2nd and 16.
To see this big tight end, Kendall Blanton, get involved. He's split out right here. It's all kinds of size down in the red zone, 6'6".
NFL Total Access coming up next, coming up towards 6 o'clock in the East as Hall again has the carry back near the original line of scrimmage, and the clock now is winding. I do think the East was given a 4th timeout. The clock is still moving.
Competitive advantage. Looks like, if I'm reading lips, Coach Zimmer saying let's run the ball. We'll see.
Or did Adam Zimmer call a timeout to benefit Sam Mills there? Because now the West, no, they still have 2.
He's taking this all the way down. He wants to win. I want to win this game.
But the play clock wind down. It is now at 10 with a 3rd and 12. Marcus McMaryion hands again to Hall, getting a lot of work here as they try to close out this game. Hall's got a good push, but he's going to be about 3 yards shy of the 1st down as we are now under a minute to go.
Not going to put the ball up in the air and risk stopping the clock.
Can take the field goal here and go up 7.
This is fun. You see all these good young coaches in the National Football League, and you mentioned Stefanski did a great job in this game, and look how his career has taken off. And I can't tell you how impressed I've been with these 2 young head coaches, as well as all these position coaches. They've brought energy and passion each and every day on the practice field, and you can see right here being able to run the clock all the way down. They're competitive. They want to win.
Play clock's down to 6 now. Zimmer's going to run it all the way down. He does have a timeout. And he burns it with the play clock at 1 and 8 seconds on the clock. Wait, is he telling special teams to stay on the sideline?
Try and run a play. What's he going to do?
On 4th and 4?
Game management here.
This is some quality game management. Sean McVay went for it on a 4th down in the red zone last week against the Cowboys. This is not exactly the same kind of scenario. Understood. See what they do. Cole Wright, Rod Woodson, TD. Coming up NFL Total Access after this game. And you mentioned the coaching. It is really good, and we talked about it with Troy Vincent as well. To see the development, to give these guys, and both said they're a little bit nervous here, to give these guys a chance to have their own room, to have their own team, to be in these end-of-game 2-minute situations. Both of them said that these were the situations they were maybe not most worried about, but had given it the most thought.
I'm anxious to see with McMaryion here. If they pull a page out of the Rams playbook, you're going for it here. Maybe it's a naked, maybe it's a keeper. We saw Jared Goff pull that off. Maybe that's the play call here.
Well, again, it's 8 seconds, so you don't get it. You give them the long field, but it would have to be some kind of trick play or a Hail Mary. Don't know if anybody can throw it 85 yards. So they need the 8. Fresno State's Marcus McMaryion with Hall from Pitt in the backfield on his right hip. McMarion's going to throw. And Tarver cannot hang on. And there are 4. Wait, the clock didn't run. There are 4 seconds left. No, the clock did run. It's down to 4.
So Tarver working up here at the top. He's got plenty of cushion. Ball just a little bit high. You'd like to see him be able to find a way. Got up the ladder as high as he could, just couldn't finish it.
So,
Coach
why
Zimmer,
not? You tried. What do you think of the play call?
I like it. Be aggressive. He had all kinds of cushion, made the right read, just throws it got a little bit high. Now look at the defense. Look how back the defense is.
All right, we got the entire defense. We have 4 on the line, and we have 7 back near the 50 or on the other side of the field. They are on the 13-yard line. They need a touchdown, and your quarterback is Taylor Cornelius from Oklahoma State. Let's get a trick play. Let's go. Taylor Cornelius to Custis from Syracuse. Custis to Godwin. Godwin, ball on the floor, and that's going to be it. Would have been fun.
That movie was over before the trailer finished.
And congratulations to Adam Zimmer and the West. A 4th consecutive win in in the East-West Shrine game for the team from the West. A 21-17 victory over Sam Mills III from the Carolina Panthers staff. What a fun day. We had some offense, we had some turnovers, we had some bold coaching moves as well.
That was fun. We saw pass rushers, we saw explosive plays. We had it all.
A couple of touchdowns in the second half by Terry Godwin from Georgia. Made this thing interesting. David Blau from Purdue threw both of them. There is Godwin. Let's go down to Aditi.
Okay, your team went up 21, then had to hold on a bit. What are you happiest with today?
Well, I'm happy with the way they battled at the end. You know, they got some momentum in the end of the fourth quarter, and we had a really nice drive to seal a game on offense, and it was really good running the football down there. And you know, the guys fought hard, they played hard, they worked hard all week, and they deserve to come out with a win.
Can you give me a couple guys that you'll be going back to Minnesota banging the table for?
Oh, I don't know. You know, the quarterback played well today. All the running backs played well. Defensively, we covered well for the most part, except for a couple deep balls. So, you know, there's a lot of guys that we're going to look hard at on tape, and you know, they might be Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, so we know Dad's at home watching. Hi, Coach Sim. What do you think he will say about this outing and your decision making?
Well, he'd probably say I'm pretty aggressive. So we'll see. You know, I did what I thought was best at the time. I was just myself, and that's what he told me to be, and that's what I'm going to be.
Tell him you're proud of him, okay? Andrew, back to you.
All right, certainly. He had an East-West Shrine game viewing party for this one to see his son get a win as a head coach. 21-17. DJ, some final thoughts.
To me, this was a competitive football game. We saw it all week during practice, guys competing each and every rep, and we saw it really carry through 4 quarters today. They never stopped, they never quit, and this is going to be a great evaluation tool for scouts to watch.
Fun time here today, and a great week as well. At the hospital, at the stadium, with these two teams. Great week for the 94th East-West Shrine game. For Aditi Kinkawala, for Bucky Brooks, for Daniel Jeremiah, I'm Andrew Siciliano. This game had a little bit of everything. The West with a win today, 21-17 over the East. The first step on the path to the draft. Total Access is next.